What's up, everybody? Welcome to an all new episode of Talkin' It's your podcast. Friends, I am one of your hosts, Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro, and still Mr. Paranoid and unemployed. Yes, indeed, I am living the life.
How many
With
weeks
on,
now?
it's been eight, 8 or 9 weeks. Yeah, I'm going into the Trump era like a loose cannon. I ain't got nothing to
Mm.
lose no more. I feel like Kendrick in the GNX. I'm just driving over everybody and anybody can get it. I don't care. You know. How did he say it in the song? F everybody, it's on my body. That's how I'm feeling. I am in that zone. So anybody can get it from me. But we're gonna be a much more happier episode because we can never have this episode be a complete episode without those lovely queens of podcasting, and we're gonna start off with that beautiful ray of sunshine, the
Yes.
one, the only. Y'all give it up, y'all, for Miss Araya Anderson. She is with us. Hello, ma'am. And we're done.
Back in
With
Florida.
that little deflected beauty queen wave.
That was the
I
Meghan
like your
Markle.
sweatshirt.
Congeniality.
I like your
Okay,
sweatshirt.
Thank you. I got
it's
it from a
Bucky's.
friend. I like
Really?
to
A friend?
I like to refer to them as pussies.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm lost. What?
The Buckies.
Bussies.
Oh,
Bussies.
because of
that's
the
not
way
what I
it's
heard.
spelled?
The Buckies.
Yes.
The bussies. Oh, you see
Yeah.
now you'd have had
I
a
thought
bunch of
you,
bussies on stage.
that's what I thought you
B-U-C-E-E-E-E-E.
said.
Right, because I was about to say you was about to get the ligger bigger tiggers out here, and we don't want that kind of war right now.
Oh, you got two of us on the me. Just me. Sorry.
Oh,
Who
okay.
is? I was gonna say who
I-
is two of us?
That's none of our business. Don't be
None
trying
of
to.
our business.
We gonna continue because Britt
Okay,
gonna start a
Anthony is
war.
correct. Anthony's correct, but Raya got some nerve talking about that's not our business. You be putting people's business out here, be like,
That
yeah,
is
they
true,
committed
Raya.
felony.
She do.
You
Listen,
a mess
She
with
say
us.
whole names when she starts some shit
I'm
too.
a
She be like,
Oh.
you remember that girl Crystal Laredo from da, 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 da? I'm like, did you just say her whole name? Oh, you don't remember such and such and such from da, 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 da. You don't remember Matt LeBlanc from girl? Did you say that man's whole name?
Not that LeBlanc.
Ladies and gentlemen, within a minute and 57 seconds, Helaine breaks the law. All right, we're good. It's okay. We're okay. We're okay. I'm not editing. I'm sorry. Y'all just got to
Gloss
live with
over
what
it.
happened.
It's fine. It's
All right.
fine.
But we got to
Jade,
continue, y'all, because we cannot keep this going without Miss Coretta with the Beretta. Y'all heard the rant. So give it up, y'all, for Miss
Bang,
Helaine
bang.
Tarragano. Bang, bang. Show some love. Show some love.
Okay.
And it is done.
I'm
Love
okay
don't
with
live here anymore. That's what the song taught me, I guess.
that. It so don't. God damn. I don't even need if you give me, I would like some dick to live here though, but I don't need no love. I'm past that stage in
Okay,
life.
she could be talking about a man named Richard. We're gonna continue.
I'm not, but I could be.
Oh no, you are.
I
You
need
are.
you to
Censor.
never date someone named Dick, please, because I won't be able to say his name correctly.
I don't know any black dicks. I mean, I do, but I don't know any. I don't know any black men named Rick. Oh wait, yes I do. I know one. He's an old man though. I don't know anybody my age.
So
Named
like
Dick?
Name
What
Richard.
you got against old Dick?
I mean nothing.
They got
Not
pills
at this
now.
point. Nothing.
I'm sure he
Nothing.
sounds
okay,
nice.
all right.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, you do that.
Araya,
He's an old man though.
I do have a question. Araya and I the other day we thought about it. How many of us actually know any black Tobys?
I do.
Like
What about Christopher?
A rapper?
McGuire?
No, Toby, a black Toby.
That just sounds a little too plantation-y for my liking. So
Yeah.
I just don't see anybody really
There-
like, oh my baby, look at my cute baby. His name is Toby. No, I just don't see that happening.
I know
I
one.
don't
He's
like it.
African.
Toby and
Oh, that's
Wigwe?
not good.
No,
Okay,
that
that
no
doesn't count.
Tobi, not
No,
Toby.
no. Toby.
No.
Is that his
No,
American name?
And they're American?
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
No.
His mama named
That's
him
his.
Toby.
no,
Wow.
because
Why would she do that?
She probably had no
Tobi is
context.
African.
Yes, but
Does he
that's
have a
how
middle name?
he spells it Toby. His mother spelled it Toby. She
Oh
said she
wow.
wanted to give him a good, strong American name.
Wow.
Did you
So
check
she
his?
picked
Okay.
Toby.
Did you
She had
check
no
his foot?
context.
Check his
Right.
foot.
Did you check his foot?
That is so wrong.
Because if he got half a foot, now it makes sense. So you
I mean,
man. Okay. Hey, here's a rule for the for folks who are listening. Please do not name your child Toby. I don't care if you want to
yeah, don't
call
do
your
that.
child
Bad
Don't
Tobanisha,
do that.
name. Toby.
No,
Toby
don't do that
Maguire.
either.
Just
Stop it.
don't try to be
Don't
cute
name your
with it.
children Emancipation. Nope.
The only child, the only human being that should walk thine earth named Toby is Toby Nguigwe, who is a great rapper from Houston, Texas.
From Houston.
Houston.
Who's done?
And he is fine with the name, and we should leave it at that because he already told us, try Jesus, don't try me, because I throw
That part.
hands. I love that. But y'all, we got to have a few more introductions because again, our podcast runs on Beige Rage, and the priestess is here,
Baby.
and y'all got to
And it
give it
don't never
up.
run out either.
Never. It is an infinite source of Beige Rage. Y'all give it up for the African American princess, the slightly annoyed and slightly caked up Miss Britt Williams. She is here.
Slightly caked up.
Grand
No,
Rising,
she
brothers and
got
sisters. Grand
No.
Rising. Okay.
no.
No, because when she lose
Okay.
weight, the ass start to go.
Oh, that's true.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
No, it does. Oh.
You, you,
It does.
you kind of
It
It
got
does
like
starts it starts manifesting white woman ass. It starts to get a little flat and a little wide.
No,
it doesn't
it
have
does
the bump
not.
to it.
My
No,
booty's
yes,
never
it
been
does.
flat. It just gets
It
a
doesn't.
smaller
It
version. No, it's just a smaller
I'll say
doesn't-
this. It does
it
look,
doesn't have that.
your butt does look like a drop biscuit. And that's cute. And that is cute. It's cute. It's pretty. It has a nice little heft.
Look at her face.
That was the same look she gave Melody when he told her she was an adjustable 6.
I'm not gonna
Britt.
dox you, but
Britt, you are
We
beautiful.
just talked about this, Britt. Some men, a good majority of them like the drop biscuit. They
Yeah,
like having the heft at the bottom.
I
Yeah.
have no problem getting men.
Yeah. I mean, that girl flatter than an ironing board and
I
she
ain't
pulling.
got
What's your
nothing.
problem?
Oh Jesus!
What's your problem? Just because you're messing with them white men and they
Right.
don't know how to handle thick
Raya
buns.
said I ain't had no problems, boo boo.
Antonia, do you want to show off your biscuit? Antonia, you want to show off your biscuit? That booty dumb big.
Antonia
She
shows
is
I knew
a
you were saying
mother. She is a mother.
her
Okay,
biscuit is
turns around and
on her
she-
husband's plate.
that
That's
part.
all right.
She is a mother.
I knew you were gonna say something.
No, look. It's nothing in the world like a black woman with a big ass. It's a beautiful sight. But you not gonna put Antonia on blast because we talking about your biscuits.
Poor Antonia.
Nah.
She was like, what did I sign
No,
up
it's-
for?
It's fine. And back to this, Britt, I didn't even know I had an actual butt, so I just
See?
assumed I had a flat ass, and I don't.
No,
Didn't
that
know.
thing is no. That
I
she
didn't
turned
know.
around and knocked
Does
the
it-
shit off at my house.
Oh yeah, I did.
You see, so again, as I've said
She
before,
got the
there's nothing
donkey.
wrong. No, look, her and Helaine, they could be the Buttman twins and just big booty powers activate. Form of a
I do. I
of a
have knocked
summer
it off
dress, of a
too.
sundress.
No, but I've
G-Mama.
knocked so much shit over her house.
It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Loose caboose. Make it happen. But y'all, let us continue because we have given introductions to the queens and we have a guest, y'all. I did not write an introduction, but I will say this. We will show some love to our guest, who is an amazing mom, a wonderful wife, what is it? A product manager? Yes, she does it
Oh,
all.
so,
Project
I,
manager.
yeah, let's go with that.
She's a project
but let's go with
manager.
that.
And I'm not talking about the projects. She does not go into the wards, into the hoods, and manage the
Oh Lord,
projects.
here you go.
Welcome to Hood LinkedIn.
Yeah, let's just keep it at that. I sell street pharmaceuticals on a one-to-one basis on Thursdays and Fridays. I do not go out because Metro sweeps. No, I'm just joking. But ladies and gentlemen,
Metro
I am
y'all,
an urban pharmacist.
there you go. Show your love for Miss Antonia. Thank you for joining us. You will get the snaps and claps. Thank you. We appreciate you being a part of this episode. A little
Thank
longer,
Thanks for
you.
having me.
and now the party must die. Thank you, Kendrick. See, Rhea, I'm gonna quote a lot of Kendrick now. You're gonna be
Okay.
pissed. No, I'm joking.
Mustard
No,
I
on
know
because
the
every
the
one.
time
I know the mustard song.
the mustard
you do.
song.
Oh, the mustard.
Put that on the beat, ho!
No,
Favorite
why,
part of the song.
that is so not
That's
what he
some nerve.
says, but
You
I
know
think that
he
should
does.
be his new thing.
I
Have
do
you
too.
Have you seen how
Put
much
it on the
child
beat,
support
ho.
he has to pay now? He has to pay a grip of child support now.
Who, Mustard?
Who's that? DJ Mustard?
Mhm.
Well, Kendrick
Well,
did
if
it
you
for
got
me.
Wait, what?
if you got them kids, then
Yeah, you gotta pay
gotta
for
do
them.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
How many kids Mustard got? God damn.
Well, doesn't the
No,
Bible
he's
say?
one, and he has to pay a
Oh,
crap ton.
oh yeah, they getting them hard. They getting them hard nowadays. I don't even want to yell pause because that's stupid. But
They do.
there's a
No,
few
no Diddy.
artists. Fine. There are a few artists that are getting popped for child support.
$24,500
A
a month. A month.
Okay, I'm
Damn.
sorry.
How much?
They got 3 kids.
24,000. 3 kids?
24,000.
Three?
They have 3 kids. Okay.
But still, $24,500 a month.
Yeah, it
Divided
depends
Per
on
by
his
kid or
income.
total?
That's $8,000 a
Still,
kid.
that's
he will never
8,000.
be able to
33% of his income per child.
Yeah.
for now until all of a sudden the income's gone.
And then you find
And
out
then he
all
does
of
it until you do a readjustment.
You
Yeah.
know how many songs he's on? His money is long.
No, Mustard got a great catalog.
And he
He's
got,
fine.
I was gonna say, and he got
Yeah.
producer money.
Yeah,
Like
and
that's where the
Yeah.
money is.
You don't think that's excessive?
It is.
Not for 3
yeah.
kids.
Well,
I think
because
it is
The
excessive
kids
to a
should be
point.
it's excessive
living
'cause
the
that's not her money.
lifestyle. The kids should be living the lifestyle that they're accustomed to at their dad's house, at their mom's
okay, but
house.
what if they
too.
were living in the projects and daddy was already rich and never got to the
Right.
lifestyle that daddy?
What
Then
I-
you should
what I
have
said
ramen noodles and Vienna
They
sausage.
should be living the
$2.99
lifestyle
Vienna
at
sausages.
that
Schwetten's.
they live at their father's
Yes.
house, at their mother's
Then they need to
house
live with their
too.
father.
Thank you.
They
I
let them live with
Yeah.
their
Well,
father.
Right.
if the
agree.
father is not capable of taking care of 3 children by himself, then the mother
Then
has
get a
to, like,
nanny.
why X out the
I was gonna
mother?
say it was not
He-
nannies
he-
for.
He clearly loved the mother enough to put 3 kids in her.
That
So
don't
take
mean
care
No.
of them.
He
Right.
liked sex enough to put 3
Right,
kids
thank
in her.
I was
Well,
gonna say.
these are the consequences of
Okay.
having sex.
Y'all want to
I
know
mean, it is.
something?
This is true. This is true.
$24,000
Google
is
Home
not
just
acceptable.
answered the child support
8,000
question at my
8,000
house.
per
I just
kid
want y'all to
is
know
not
this.
a lot
Yes.
of money based on what he makes.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, Rhea. Hold on one second. Google Home. I'm in a room with a door closed. Google heard our conversation and just answered the question about the child support. And what she said, Rhea, was you are full of defecation and you need to stop.
That's a defecation.
Well,
Listen,
wait, I don't want to
You're full,
curse.
you're full of scat and excrement,
I'm
ma'am.
Yes.
always going to be on the side of the baby mother. I'm sorry.
That's
No.
fine.
No, we can't be on the side of our love now. Let's
No,
just
I
be
am.
honest.
No,
Let's
I am.
be honest.
Well,
I will.
She's
again,
just mad because she don't have DJ Mustard alimony and child support.
Listen, I got my little $95 a month.
Shit,
child
knowing
support.
Raya, she could have at some point.
She
I
could've.
chose. I should have went with Diddy. I chose wrong.
With
Okay.
Diddy when I had the chance.
wow.
You would not be the same person. You would
Hey,
be
she
I
could have been a
know.
Wahlberg, but she missed that chance.
Missed my
Or
chance.
Timberlake, but she just didn't give it up to
Oh,
the Frosty Tips
yeah.
the way she should have.
I didn't
But-
complete the act.
Yeah.
Well, before we get
Or
into all this,
Consuelos. Or Consuelos.
That
hey,
act was
again,
completed.
Okay.
He was otherwise engaged outside of the room. They
He
were
was
in.
married.
But I don't think he had that. He didn't have that kind of money when you met him, though, did he?
Married.
His wife
though.
did.
Oh,
She
well.
wife
did.
had the money.
Rippa did. Oh, you're-
Okay. Again, here we go. We doxing. Let's not do it. We need to move on
But
because
technically, is that doxing? Is that
Because
doxing?
you're
or
It's
what?
not- it doesn't count if they're famous.
Yeah, they're already well known.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you
Yeah.
have that amount of BS, and you could live on that. You can have that. But I want to know how everybody's doing. How's the week? How was y'all week? It was Thanksgiving. We just got through the Thanksgiving holiday, so I know there was a lot of truth and clapbacks at the dinner table. I spent it, me, myself, and I was okay with that. The family went
Where was
off
your
to
family?
they went out of town. I was like, yeah, y'all go ahead. Bye. See
Oh.
you. Peace out.
Did they
Um
make anything for you, or did you cook anything?
I had some red bean and rice, which is the perfect Thanksgiving meal.
Hmm.
As
Who
well
did you
as
invite to the house, Anthony?
none of your business. Um and there was no
Oh.
one at the house who said I was home. And we're gonna keep it at that. It goes like this,
A
Rhea.
ho- a
Hands touch.
holiday
Oh.
whore.
Collarbone is showing.
Aw,
The
that's
phase
so
is in.
He
romantic.
said his collarbone is showing, ladies. He is out in these
He
streets.
had his hoochie daddy outfit on.
Okay. Which was a t-shirt, blue jeans, and a pair of sneakers. And guess what? 60% of the time it works all the time. It's like sex
Were
pants.
they
No, I'm
fitted
joking.
jeans?
Yes.
That's a good question.
Skinny
Yeah, I
jean?
don't. No, not. I do not
No,
wear
not
skinny jeans.
No,
skinny.
Okay.
fitted,
They're
just fitted.
fitted.
Fit it.
No,
Oh,
Oh, they
okay.
fit.
he's a man of a certain age. He don't wear them little tight ass
No,
jeans.
I
And he got
no.
look, and you can see he got a fresh edge up too.
Girl, that was since last week, but my hair stays fine until now. Watch Monday. I'm gonna be looking like Sam Jackson and Black Snake Moan. My hair gonna be everywhere.
So
This
So
nigga said Black Snake Moan.
I'm gonna be looking outside with a wife beater.
Looking crazy.
Just looking wild as hell. But no, it was a pretty good week though, man. Like I didn't think I don't celebrate Thanksgiving, and it's not, because it's disrespectful to the Native Americans. Hey, look, no disrespect to them. I was never a Thanksgiving person. I actually just like being around my cousins because it would
Yeah.
always be a walk around the side of the house for me with me
Oh
because
yes.
was about to transpire. For the folks who don't understand, when black cousins get together and they go around the
Don't tell
house,
them.
we like to talk about politics and things of that nature, while we sip on apple cider and we speak about how good white people are.
Oh my
So
God, could you imagine the cousins that you go around the side of the house with, just sitting down and having a political conversation with them?
Oh no, that
there
wouldn't
was.
work in my family.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
not
political
not
conversations
mine
happen in
either.
my family because that's when my political uncles will go against my conspiracy cousins. And it's the
Oh.
second cousins. They're the ones who just turned like 23, 24. They think they know
You
everything
know
because
that's
they
just
voted.
Raya versus Britt on a
Pretty
Sunday.
much. Pretty much. It felt,
That is
you know what
all that is.
it literally felt like a conversation between Scooby and Shaggy. It just didn't make sense at all. And I
Raya's
have
like, the stars aligned, and then Britt's like, no, the white man. Yeah, it's every Sunday.
white supremacy created astrology. Period. And it's
To
like,
keep
what?
the
I
black
mean,
man down.
Yeah. Star charts keep black folks lost. And it's like, wait, what? But
Lord have
then
mercy, Jesus.
all I have to say is the best line I heard, and this wasn't on Thanksgiving because, like I said, I celebrated by myself. My mom, she does this family breakfast where she gets all her brothers and sisters to come over and just celebrate
Mhm.
family because we've lost some aunts and uncles along the way, and she likes to
Yeah.
keep the family close. My oldest uncle gave the line of the day. And I just brought like it just came out of left field. I said, "Well, you ready? You ready for what's to come in 2025, huh?" And he just goes, and I will say it, and I don't care if I get bleeped or doxed on it. That nigga Trump ain't gonna bring shit to nobody. But here's the beauty of it. Half of us is already coming to the grave, so we ain't got to worry about him. It's
Mm.
y'all nephew that's got to worry. And I just
Wow.
looked at him and I went, this old motherfucker. He hit the nail on the head. I almost said
Mhm.
it, but I'll give myself the. But he had a point. And that's when everything just started to kick in. He said, "Yeah, nephew, what y'all don't understand, you see all them little ones." He said, "Your little cousins, the ones that talk about Joe Biden, a lizard, they went vote. They screwed you over." And I went,
Mm.
"Oh, yeah." And guess who
Yep.
shows up to my house but one of the conspiracy cousins? And he just look and they start going at it. And I just went, "All right, I'll take some shrimp and grits. Let me get some bacon, a little bit of eggs, and I'm going in my room. Y'all have a blessed one." So my
Mm.
weekend was crazy. I had Thanksgiving madness for Sunday breakfast. So,
Mm.
Britt, how was your week? You got the job. Do you have two jobs now?
I'll find out next week when the second interview is for the other job,
Okay.
the one that is more. Um,
All righty.
but I had two places to go on Thanksgiving. I screwed up and had to leave one, and then found out the second one wasn't until tomorrow, Friday, and so I
Oh.
spent Thanksgiving um, Kit Kat and Sprite until Antonia very sweetly bought me Thanksgiving dinner because.
Aw.
But
Oh,
I
that's
painted
sweet.
I started painting an amazing painting. It's called Black Women Hold Up
Well,
the.
I was concerned because I'm like, you didn't eat anything. I thought you were off having KFC, which that's a discussion for later. So you know how I
I
feel
was
about
about to have a
KFC.
KFC Thanksgiving.
Yeah, what
Yeah,
happened
and
with
I
that?
protested.
No, it turned into a really nice Friendsgiving on Friday.
Okay.
Okay.
I met my friend. He's known this chick since they were 13. His next door neighbor, and being around another black person, especially a black woman, and you just say something and she gets it. Oh, seriously, because
Yeah.
It
It's
was
like,
like
oh,
a breath of Negro air.
it was. You got it.
just in the eyes. It's just in the eyes.
Oh,
Like somebody
You
said,
don't even have
"Oh,
to say anything.
somebody's like, oh, I forgot my Switch," and they meant like Nintendo Switch. She and I looked at each other, and she's
Yeah.
like, "I'm good. I don't need any more of those." And I got what she meant. They were like, "Huh?"
nice.
Yeah. So it was
Okay.
Uh,
good.
Well,
It was a
that's
good week.
good.
And
Helaine. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was going to Helaine, but finish up.
oh no, and no, I'm
Okay,
good.
she
My
done.
husband's good.
Nothing else happened
Okay.
last week? Okay, whatever.
Oh shit! And Raya came to visit.
Look at her face.
I was leaving that for you to say.
Oh, because that was the highlight of my week. Okay.
Exactly.
wow.
Exactly.
Mm. Oh, okay. You're the
Got
good
the best
one.
part.
She
Yeah,
didn't
like
come to visit
okay.
me though. She came to visit someone else, and I was blessed enough to be able to spend a few hours in her presence
We
at a
had a good
soul
I
old
food
time
restaurant
though.
that
That was a way
basically
to clean it up.
yeah.
We
gave
had
us
a we had
diabetes.
we had a good old time. We get sugar beaties. We sure
We
did.
sure the shit
Sugar
did.
beaties.
Oh Lord. Did y'all have visions of Wilford Brimley dancing in your heads?
Well, we
And
tasted each other's drinks, and the drinks
oh,
were one was sweeter than the next,
okay. Oh wow. No, 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 no,
and the
no,
food
and
was
wasn't
My
that
teeth would
salty.
hurt.
but Raya,
Because they
wasn't
was
that
in
the
the
most
hood.
shit you've ever seen? We stood there in that tiny place, just looking around, waiting for someone to tell us to sit down. That man looked us, I don't know how many times, and then after what 5 minutes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
casually came over.
it was like, oh, y'all can sit wherever y'all want to sit.
And then
Oh,
the
I ain't got
thanks,
menu,
time to
thanks
seat
for
y'all. Do
telling
what you do.
us.
right?
Okay.
And then the menu. He was like, scan the code for the menu. So we do. Ray is like, something's wrong. I can't seem to order. It keeps giving me an error. I go and I'm like, I'll do it. Me too. He walks by. I was like, oh yeah, I'm sorry, but it seems like the menu doesn't work. Oh yeah, you just look at it. You order with me.
What?
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love
Black
black.
Okay.
establishments.
I love black
That's
establishment.
hood black establishments, baby.
But the
What
food was
happened to the good
banging
old
though.
days of when you go to them black restaurants and they just look at you and go and just stare at you? And you
He
stare at
stared,
each other lovingly or
Hell, they still do
menacingly,
that shit.
and it's just like,
but the food was good. I will give them that. It was a little salty,
okay.
but it was good.
Well, that's a black establishment. Hypertension is
They're
delicious.
they're gonna salt you and sugar you down.
Yeah. Welcome to the Diabetes Deli.
I'm
How
amazed
may
they
I
didn't have.
amputate your limb?
No, seriously.
Yeah, that That's crazy because there's a place I saw. I think it was on Instagram where the whole thing is supposed to be you're at your grandma's house, your grandmama's house,
Oh, okay.
and
Hmm.
they literally have plastic
On the
covering the
furniture?
boots on the
Oh, on the
furniture,
booths? Oh, that's cute.
and you can
It's
walk.
not. Don't say that.
They have the carpet runners on the
Uh-huh.
floor, so you
Uh-huh.
don't be messing up the good carpet and everything. And one of the things is they serve cool Kool-Aid, but it's an
It's in a
alcoholic
cool
beverage.
cup.
Yeah,
Is that King's Kool-Aid from
I
The
have no
Happening?
clue.
The Happening. No, the
The blackening.
The
the Blackening.
blackening
Thank you. You know The Happening. I'm sorry. I didn't even know how that dumbass movie got in my head. Sorry. I'm a
That
little
movie is
high.
because
terrible.
you love a Wahlberg. That's okay.
Not that
We get it.
Wahlberg. He is one of the worst actors in the entire world.
Right. Okay. Well, Rev, anything else
Yes.
happened for your weekend? Because I mean,
Yes.
you and
I
Britt
was in San
merged.
Francisco
Uh
visiting
huh.
my new niece, who's like the
Oh, how is
cutest baby
she?
ever. She's so
Awesome.
sweet. She's really sweet. And I got to put her to sleep, so she liked me. And we got to see the sights around San Francisco. We took pictures in front of the Golden Gate Bridge, in front of the sunset on the bay,
Yeah.
and we had In
Such a
and Out
tourist.
Burger. Yeah, we did all the touristy things. And it was
In and Out
fun. We
Burger.
had a good time.
Mm.
It was good. I didn't really care for the fries, but the burger was good.
You need to, next time you come here, I'll take you to Nations. Nations is a million times better. And the fries,
It
Okay.
is really good.
Well,
the
I'm coming
burger.
Okay.
out it's going to be a yearly tradition now.
Oh, that's
So I'll be
awesome.
out I'll be out next year too.
Sweet. All right. Well,
And she's moving to
Helaine.
Virginia.
Wait, who's
We'll
moving
see.
where?
Her.
We'll see.
Okay.
I've decided
Britt
she's moving to
Britt
Virginia.
yeah, Britt talked me into moving to Virginia.
To
I talked to the
Virginia.
kids. I talked
Okay.
to the kids about it, and they were like on the fence about it, but they don't have a choice because they don't have any money. So
Oh, okay. That makes
I
sense.
mean,
That makes
Do
sense.
you know when you get your dog microchipped, you have to register and it costs you to register it?
Yes,
it didn't cost
yeah,
me
every
because it
year.
goes
anything.
in a database.
Well, they can do lifetime registration, but I'm like, bitch, my dog's been registered for had a microchip for 2 years, and I'm just now doing this
Oh
I
Oh,
don't
you
wow.
have
think
the
it.
same one I do.
I don't think it costs cats anything because cats rarely get
because
out.
nobody gives a shit about cats.
Nice for
Hey,
dogs.
Duh. Because
hey.
cats just roam and end up in anybody's goddamn house anyway, so they just let them roam.
There you
Yeah,
go.
they do.
But Helene, your week was
Sir,
very adventurous. How was it?
only 5 6 hours of Thanksgiving. Other than that, it was not.
How did she get
Let's
out
see.
anyway?
Well, let's
I
start.
I
Helene.
am not gonna look good in this story, so I'm just gonna tell y'all now. Let's start with the first part. I still don't have my goddamn truck. It's still in the shop.
Oh gosh.
Because I'm getting the transmission replaced. But luckily, at least that part is covered by warranty. But the other $2,000, more than $2,000 worth of shit is not. But I'm not getting
Mhm.
all that done. But I digress. Um, so I got up bright and early. Just it was like, what's the one? What's the bitch where the birds be singing to her? Snow White.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
It was a
Yeah.
very
Oh,
It's
it's
it
Snow
was
Snow
a
White.
very
White,
Snow White
Cinderella.
morning on Thursday. No, I think it
Cinderella.
was
no, Cinderella has the
Cinderella,
mice.
Cinderella.
Oh
Cinderella.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cinderella's the one with the rats. I ain't got no rats. So Snow White. It was a very Snow White Thanksgiving morning. The birds were chirping. So I got up nice and early. I was like, I shall prepare. I had done all my preparation the night before. I'd cut up meats and whatnot for gumbo and the whole nine. So I'm like, get up early, make my brown roux, Britt, and was in the process. And I had my stove. Had my one of my burners is like weird for some reason. Like I don't know. I took it apart to clean it, and when I put it back together, now it's like when it says it's low, it's high. When it's high, it's low. But when it's medium, it's high. Like I don't know. The burner is doing some things. So I had some water
So you
boiling
got a
on
black
there, and
burner. We got it.
I do. It's a Negro burner.
Yeah, I
So
can only
something
use two
started
of
to.
my burners, so I get it.
I can use them. I just got to pay very close attention. So
I
I
can
had
use
something
my
boiling, and it overflowed. And when it overflowed, it started to smoke, like the burner got hot.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
the alarm starts to go off. So I'm like, oh my God, it's like 8:30 in the morning. The alarm's going off. I'm like, I don't want to wake the kids. So I go and start fanning the alarm. It goes off, but then by that time it's gotten slightly smoky in the kitchen. So I go and I open the back door. And the way that my balcony faces, like I get no breeze or anything. So having that back door open wasn't really doing too much of nothing. So I open the front door.
Oh.
You see where the story is going.
Yep.
But I only crack it because I'm like, I don't need nobody. I mean, I'm on the 3rd floor. Nobody's going to come up here anyway. So I crack it a bit, but I put what do you call those? Like the Sterilite bins where you put like old clothes and stuff.
Right.
The plastic bin in front the door, thinking I'm really doing something. But I can see the dog because she sits on the edge of my kitchen while I cook. So because she knows she ain't supposed to bring her ass in there. So I see her, and I'm like making my roux. Anybody that knows about a good roux knows I got to sit there and stir that motherfucker for like 45 minutes. So I am locked in on my roux. Locked in. I hear some dogs barking, and I'm like, them bitches got their dogs barking early in the morning. They're inconsiderate. doesn't even ring the mind. Just thinking this, the bitches is inconsiderate, got their dogs barking at 9 a.m. Locked in on my roux. I'm stirring. My roux is getting good. I'm like, oh, this is going to be some good goddamn yes. And then I look around, and I'm like, oh, so my roux is done. I'm whisking some stock. Yes. Good to go. Start to bay leaf. Bam. I'm Bobby flaying this motherfucker like this, right? So I'm tasting. I'm like, this. Yes. One of the kids I can see out of the corner of my eye is starting to move. So I'm like, okay, let me. Should I make breakfast? And I'm like, oh, I can give the dog her breakfast.
Oh.
Ella, white bitch, because you know when she don't answer the Ella, I start calling her white bitch. Bitch. Usually by that time I can see the tail coming, like you just see the tail kind of like just wag. You just see tail, like I don't see nothing else. I still don't see nothing, don't hear anything either. So I'm like, what the fuck? I look around, the slit in the door that I had that was this big is now this big.
Oh wow!
So she opened.
This bitch is gone. You know she got a pointy nose, so I'm sure she just wedged it into the door and was boom. So I'm like, oh shit, I bet the dogs I heard barking was her ass fucking with the people across the way because she likes to sniff at their door and get them dogs agitated. I'm like, fuck, that was like 20 fucking minutes ago. So I'm like, everybody get up, the dog done ran out. So Caleb wakes up, he's like, because he just got in at like 3 a.m. from doing hoe activities that 23-year-olds do. So Ian is half damn dead. I'm like, put some clothes on and go. I am in the meantime in some running shorts. You know, a bitch don't run, but I got running shorts. I got on running shorts and a damn t-shirt. I throw my Crocs on and I'm out. Mind you, it is 60 degrees on Thursday morning.
So it's warm.
In Crocs?
I'm out. Huh?
In Crocs?
Yeah. So I'm out and I'm not feeling the air because now I'm pissed. Like I'm worried, but now I have transitioned from worried to pissed. This bitch know better. What the fuck? This bitch, I got her. She was homeless. Oh, you want to go back to the streets? This is the conversation I'm having with myself in my head. I'm like, oh, you want to go back to the streets? You ain't got it good enough here. You want to go and run out around in the streets like a bitch? Oh, you want to city girls up, huh? Okay, I'm gonna show your ass like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna go home. Fuck her. She's gonna be out in these streets. And then I'm like, fuck. Let me keep looking. So I'm around the park, and I'm like, maybe she went to the dog park. No. So I see Caleb on one side. I see Ian half-assed with his hands in his pockets doing the slow bop down. I'm like, are you looking? This motherfucker, Ella, get your ass back in the house. You ain't doing shit. So see if she comes home. So now by this time, I have made a full circle because my apartment complex is not that big. And I started to go up in between the buildings because I'm like, sometimes she just runs upstairs, like because we live on the 3rd floor. And I'm like, well, maybe she just found a set of stairs and was like, I'm going to go home and didn't realize what building. So now I'm like looking through the buildings, trying to find. So still don't see her. So I see my neighbor who has a male bull terrier walking his dog. And I'm like, yo, have you seen? He's like, you know what? I did thought I saw your dog earlier, but he's like, I didn't think anything of it, but I did see one. And he's like, she was across the street. Mind you, across the street is 5 lanes of road. And I'm like, oh. So I'm scanning. So run my happy fat ass across the street. And in the process of running across the street is this African dude standing on the at the entrance to my complex, and I'm like, the fuck is he doing? He's like, aren't you cold? No. Like, because I'm annoyed. I'm really not cold. I'm hot as shit. And I'm like, no. He's like, well, your shorts are, you should be, stop talking to me, motherfucker. I'm leaving. So I shit you not. So there's like a pet boarding place across the street. And then there's a body shop and then some other business that's closed. So I go to the pet boarding shop and I'm like, have y'all seen? And I'm like, missing person. I got the picture pulled up on the phone. Wait, not this one. And I'm like, have you seen this bitch? And they're like, oh, she's so cute. No, we haven't seen her. So I write my number down and I'm like, if you see her, let me know. So then I go behind their business, and in Texas, they have we call them retention ponds. Mm-hmm. But even if there's no water in it, it's just a deep, you had them in Louisiana, it's just a deep hole basically for when it floods, there's a place for the water to go. And there's this deep ass retention pond, no water in it, of course, but behind that is the entrance to a neighborhood. So I'm scanning, don't see nothing. I'm like, fuck. So I go back across the street. The African dude is walking across the street again, and he's walking to a bus. Don't think nothing of it. So I'm like, I don't see this bitch. So I got to call my middle son, my 20-year-old, and I'm like, Jay, the dog ran off. And he sends back a text, why you lying? I said, son, I'm dead ass. I said, I just put, I'm dead ass. And he calls me and then hangs up. And I'm like, oh, he's pissed. Mind you, my 20-year-old, he's not a big fella. He's 6'3", but he's like this big. I could take him if need be. But at that moment, I was a little scared for myself. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker going to be pissed when he comes in here and I ain't got this goddamn dog. So he's like, I'm on my way home. I'm like, shit. I'm like, now, I don't advocate violence, but in that moment, I could see my 20-year-old walking in the house and trying to knock my ass out. Like, what you do with my dog? Like, yeah, because he is very attached to this damn dog. So he walks in and looks around, and he's like, Chico, because he calls her Chico. Nothing. I'm like, son, I was serious. I'm not fucking with you. I'm not playing. He's like, you're playing with me. He goes to every room, opens up every door, goes out on the balcony, opens up the door out there, and he's like, you were serious. I said, son, I've been telling you like multiple times I am dead ass serious. So he sits down for a second and then gets up, sits down, gets up. He does this like 3 or 4 times. And then I see him put on some sweatpants and put on a hoodie. He's like, I'll be back. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucker. And I have his location. He literally beelined the neighborhood next to us, the neighborhood across the street from. I saw him all through the neighborhood looking for the dog. And I was like, oh, shit. So I get on Facebook. Well, I call Britt. Because I'm like, oh, this bitch gonna know what to do. So I get on Facebook after I call Britt and I post her on there. And then Britt posts her on there. And then there's something called Paw something, where you can post lost dogs. So I post her on there with a picture. And then I post on Nextdoor, the neighborhood Nextdoor app. Her picture wasn't up for an hour before I had a lady send me a text on there and was like, I think somebody posted about your dog on the Ring app. Oh. Like Nextdoor has an app and Ring has like a neighborhood app also. And I was like, well, okay, well, how do I see it? And so she's like, well, let me call this lady, because she sent me a screenshot of what the lady wrote. White bull terrier on my screen. She's been in my yard. I was like, dude, there's no way that there's another one. So she's like, well, let me call this lady. The lady calls me back and is like, oh, is she such and such and such? And I was like, yes. I said, where are you? Mind you, I have no car. So I'm like, fuck, I hope she's not far. I was like, do you see this window? Mm-hmm. You see this window right here? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you look out of this window, there is a farm on the other side of that window. That bitch was in the farm, literally 20 paces from my window, on the backside at the. It's a strawberry farm.
Oh, nice.
Wow. So the lady tells me, she's like, oh, I'm the owner of Atkins Strawberry Farm. I said, the farm, like out my balcony? She's like, yeah. She's like, she's been over here for about 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I'll walk around and can literally see my balcony from their backyard. And she's just in the backyard, just happy and sniffing and playing. And I'm like, oh, bitch, wait till we get home. Wait till we get back in this goddamn house. And so she does the whole, like, it was like a holiday movie. Oh, and she prances, because have you ever seen a bull terrier walk? They kind of prance. She prances, and she's just loving, loving, loving. I get it, bitch, the eye. She's like, at the back of her, I was like, oh yeah, yeah, because you know who I'm gonna knock your fucking head between the washer and the dryer when we get back home, bitch.
Oh wow.
But the killer part, so I put the leash on her, and she starts to guide me home. I said, so you knew your way home the whole time.
The whole time.
She guides me through the fence, starts guiding me back to the building. Did you know your way home? Oh, you wanted to embarrass me in front of these white folks. That's what you wanted to do on this Thanksgiving Day. That is what you wanted to do on the day of Thanksgiving. Bitch, wait till we get in this house. So I get up to the house, and she starts just going, and she gets the bull tail. I mean, they all get the zoomies, but they like to chase their tails when they get this. So she's running in a circle, running. And the lady was like, well, we've had her outside. We couldn't put her in the house because we have 3 dogs. So she gets in the house, and when I tell you she does this and just drops, and she never sleeps on the floor. Britt can attest to this. This dog has gotten so spoiled. She don't sleep on the floor unless she's sleeping on a bed or a couch or something. She laid her ass on the floor in front of my kitchen and slept there for 5 hours. I said, oh, that little adventure had you tuckered the fuck
She
out,
had
didn't
a
it?
time.
Yeah.
She had a time.
She sure did.
I said, you've been out here just doing what? I said, bitch, you better be glad you fixed, because if you come back around here and it is a puppy, because you want to be a city girl out here in these goddamn streets, in these Klein Spring streets, out here at the damn strawberry farm next door, embarrassing me.
You're lucky
That
would have
is
been half
crazy.
Chihuahua puppies.
Yeah.
So yes, so come 2 o'clock. No,
she came home though. That's good.
come like 3 o'clock. She was back at the 2:30, and she was back at the house, sleeping. So I was like, now I can eat my gumbo that I have lovingly prepared. Knocked out the whole rest of the night. She was knocked the fuck out. She got up, took some water, lay back down, and then I guess she realized, wait, I am a bougie bitch, and went and hopped in the bed and went back to sleep. Let me
my proper sleeping chambers.
Let me get my paws off of this cheap carpet, and went and got my goddamn bed.
I'm sorry, but it seems like you have a canine version of Raya.
I do.
God, understood.
I do.
We are bougie
Understood.
girls.
Yeah.
She go roam and then come back and want to be bougie. Yes.
Okay. I mean, she was in a strawberry farm. That must have been like the sound of music for her. The trees, the bushes, all the.
This time of year they're only growing. So they don't just grow strawberries on that farm. They grow. They cycle vegetables that are yearly.
Oh,
so right now, wintertime, they don't do citrus. So
it's
usually for the winter, it's root vegetables. So she wasn't really in. But what she does love is that they have rabbits and squirrels and shit. They said she was trying to fuck up the rabbits and the squirrels that were all back, and she does, because the fence that leads here, they all crawl under the fence like a damn. It's like a freaking what's that cartoon? Peter Rabbit.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one where he had all the little friends in the garden? It's like fucking Peter Rabbit back here in the evening. We see all kind of shit coming up under that fence.
Okay.
So that's what they said she was wanting to do to get out and play.
Okay.
Did she want to play? Okay.
Well,
I got something for your ass. But let me tell you, I opened the door yesterday. I opened the door yesterday to put the trash out, to tell Caleb to take the trash out. Baby, when I tell you, that bitch looked at that door and was like,
Now she like, I was gonna be a good puppies now. I'll never run in again.
It has not been cold here. Yes, Thursday was the first day it got cold. And for us, 60 is cold to us.
Right.
Oh, no. She had her little ass out there in that 60-degree weather just chilling, and we had wind blowing. So it was 60, but I think the wind chill was around about like 53-ish. No, I'm good.
Because we had our first 30.
Head on back in the bed.
Yeah, we had our first 34-degree night a couple of nights ago.
Oh.
And I was like,
I don't know about that.
Well, again,
I don't want to know about that.
Me either.
No, y'all just don't understand. Southern folk, especially us, Britt, you're half, but us other darker people, we are from a subtropical ancestry.
We are a tropical people.
Yes.
So we like a more fairly warm climate.
It was,
But
I will say, the week I was in California, it was pretty cold. It was like
I'll say
50s
this: the
and
one
it
thing
was
I do
rainy.
love about Northern California, it stays a perfect 65.
No, it
Like
was
the
in the
temperature.
50s this
Oh, it's in
week.
the 50s. Okay,
65 is low. I don't. Y'all won't. I don't want
yeah.
60. I want
No,
like 70.
I
I
got
want
back in
Give me
Florida.
70.
73. 73 is
In
Yeah.
perfect.
Florida, it was
Yeah.
Yeah.
79 when I
Well,
landed, and I was so happy.
well, before we get into that,
Nobody's
and
happy to go back to Florida, Raya. Stop it.
Trumpavania.
No.
We got to know, Antonia, how was your week? We everybody spoke about their week. How was your week?
Oh, my week's actually really good. I'll be very honest. I had to not spend time with my in-laws because I don't know if
I
y'all.
hear that.
So
Mental health.
just there you go. That was it. And I already talked to Britt about it, but no,
Are
it
they
was
of,
actually pretty chill.
are they of the Magavanians?
Are
Because
they?
usually you walk away from in-laws when their views don't really align with yours.
Let's just say, and I talked to Britt about this so many times. Let's just say this time they didn't, but well, one of them can't vote because she's not from the U.S. But
Oh,
That
Oh.
doesn't stop Ray.
her views, yeah, I know it aligns
oh, well, hold
similar,
on,
but
Antonia. Before you finish, Rhea has a phone number you might want to use.
Baby, I got that number. Hold
Nope,
on. I
nope,
can
nope,
get
nope,
that
nope. I
number.
was joking. It was joke.
866
God, no.
347 2646.
That's the number for ICE. Call them on all of them.
Yes.
We we is calling on all of them.
I'm sorry, Antonia. Please continue. I'm sorry. All right.
it's
If
just
I
my,
hear you
it's just
speak Dutch or Norwegian, I'm calling.
to be honest, it's just my mother and my father-in-law.
Okay.
But my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law, they're a little bit better. So they're not Trump supporters at all. It's just my mother and father-in-law that we've had to have multiple conversations. But honestly, it's because my daughter's first Thanksgiving, and I just got out of having, I don't know, given birth to a human being. I needed to preserve my mental health, so we
Yeah.
stayed home. Um, Really, it's just three of us. Honestly, we went to my hometown. They have like a local type of Christmas type of community thing called the Festival of Lights. We just walked around there, enjoyed the lights. We did go to my family, so we live in the hood. My family does, but they're awesome people. So we did go visit them just to go see my cousins and really chill with them for about an hour. My daughter hung out with her grandpa most of the
Mhm.
time, so they're like this. That's
Aw.
granddaughter and grandpa. They're like this. They're solid. So he had her most of the time, and they're watching whatever was on his phone. We were watching Coco Melon. I told him get that shit off the phone. I want to watch a Coco Melon.
Yeah,
So
don't do Coco Melon. Coco Melon's problematic.
yeah, I tell him that he
Get
didn't
off
get it.
of
It's like,
Doc
well, it's nursery
McStuffins.
rhymes. Yeah, it's like there's Bluey, there's Doc McStuffins, there's a bunch of stuff. I have Disney Plus on the phone. Like, why
Have
are you
her
There's
not
the
Hell,
watch
watching
Snoop
Coco
Boondocks.
Melon?
Peppa
Snoop
Pig.
Snoop Dogg has a pretty good channel too.
Oh, he also introduced her to Peppa Pig, and I was like, stop
No,
that.
no, no.
So
That will teach the bean how to be a savage because Peppa Pig is a savage.
she's a bitch. Anyway,
Or
That's true.
or you could really teach your child how to be a true black person and watch the Boondocks, the first two
Yes.
seasons. The third season
No.
not so much, and the
Gracie's
fourth
I
no.
think
Corner.
said the first two seasons.
Gracie's
that's
Corner.
Antonia,
not a bad idea.
do
And
your
You're
in-laws
welcome.
eat pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie?
Pumpkin,
You know
pumpkin.
they don't
Oh.
eat sweet potato pie. You know that was like
and
Oh, I'm just setting the groundwork, ma'am.
Hold
Just
on.
setting the ground. Just
I can't
Has
understanding.
bring the
Rhea
I
has
and
some
can't bring
insight.
red velvet, sweet potato, or yellow cake, or any type of. I can't bring sweet potato, red velvet, or yellow cake because
Wait a
they
second.
won't eat
Red
it.
velvet
Oh.
is just chocolate freaking cake. Look,
I
It's
know
not.
this,
Real red velvet cake is not just chocolate
no,
but
cake. Got a
it
little.
has
It's a
lemon
little added extra
frosting.
to it.
no, no,
it's
no.
a
It's
little
It's
added
lemon
lemon
extra, but
frosting.
technically it's
behind
chocolate
Hold
cake.
Bailey.
on. Hold on.
And
Rhea,
and I learned about Beano and Fino. They do Afro beats for kids. So get her into Beano
Ooh,
and
When you
Fino.
say Beano, I
Bino,
Oh,
thought
I'm
you
what's
thinking
the chick?
gas
know
relief.
No,
Yeah.
Right. I'm
not
like, wait,
so
what?
what you say?
no, not the gas relief.
Beano.
It's Bino and
No, what's her
Fino.
name? Tabitha Brown has a good channel too.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tabs
but
got one?
for babies.
Okay.
Oh, yes, they do. Yes, I
Oh,
did
I
see
didn't know
that.
that.
There's also
Okay.
Tabitha
Gracie's
Brown has a
Corner.
good
Yeah,
channel. Yeah,
Yeah.
Gracie's Corner is good.
Corner.
yeah.
There's a really good
So yeah, I'm
YouTube
trying to.
channel that will teach her about her history. It's Slightly Annoyed Mixed Chick.
No,
And
No, no, no.
no, we're not doing that.
She sees you
Antonia
on
gonna walk.
FaceTime.
We're not.
Antonia gonna walk in that baby's room, and it's just gonna be a little fist coming up out the crib like this.
We do wait, no, but we do have a book. It was a book about justice. So
Nice.
we have gotten her a few books. So I thought that'd make you proud, Britt. Just let you know we have a few books for her.
For her third
But-
birthday, I have the collected works of Martin Luther King. It's every speech he has ever written.
Except for her third birthday.
Wow.
Look at her.
Britt's gonna
What's
paint some picture for her nursery. It's gonna be a little baby with a fist and a little fro.
That's the next commission I'll pay you for. How about
I
that?
like that idea.
Britt really
Yeah.
does not want your child to succeed or get a job in life. So, I mean,
She'll be
Yeah.
all right.
Look, I don't know. We got to see because when that hair comes in, it could go either way.
Exactly. it could be.
So she ain't got no hair right now. She bald headed. My poor child.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right.
She'll get her
Willie
hair.
D had a song called "Bald Headed Hoes," and it was a popular bop.
What just happened? Why did this happen right now?
Not the bald-headed hoe.
You remember the song? What you
I
see,
do
D?
remember
What
the
you see, D? I see some bald head hoes.
I do remember.
Great
the
song. It was good in elementary school because they had a lot of girls.
Really,
who-
fool? Great song.
It was
Really?
a great song.
You say
You were
great
in
song.
elementary school.
He was teaching us about alopecia before alopecia.
Oh,
Shut your
God.
fucking ass up,
Before
Get off
Anthony.
my
Jada
phone.
Pinkett Smith.
Get off my phone.
Sorry. We got to move on because this was the biggest topic of conversation. This came from Britt. So we know it's going to be some
Okay.
stuff.
Some
That's
fuckery.
all I can say.
It's gonna be some racial fuckery.
No.
Yeah.
Are we doing the topic or the Her-Tep corner? Because I thought the topic we could just do roundtable and get thoughts.
Yes, this is what we're getting at. We're talking
Topic.
about
Okay.
interracial relationships, or as Clarence Thomas used to call it, opportunities.
Or networking.
Networking.
Ah.
He calls
'Cause
it
I'm
networking.
sorry. The fact that you had to marry a woman that's shaped like a Yeti cooler to get up
Oh,
the way you
that is
read,
an unattractive
Oh.
woman.
that's a shame.
Oh.
That's a shame. bro.
Oh.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Clarence
no.
Thomas's
Umar
wife
said it
is
best.
unattractive.
Yeah,
Dr.
no.
Umar said it
Oh.
best when Dr. Umar said, "You really think white people are giving up their finest? No.
No, that part.
Black men are getting the dregs, the ones the white men don't want, and they think they're getting a prize,
Mm.
and white men are just happy to get them off their hands." But
Well,
I feel like it's the same thing for black women. Half the dudes that date white women, we don't want them anyway.
wait, have the black men?
Half the
That-
black men that want white
Okay, I
women,
see what you're saying.
we don't want
When
them.
they have money, just the ones with money. The regular average dudes, not so much.
Oh, I thought you meant the "Where's my hug at" dudes.
There's some.
That's the
there's
yeah,
some, like,
them, yeah.
Helaine.
Don't nobody.
Those are the dudes I'm talking about.
Helaine, would you actually take Carlton Banks seriously if he tried to kick it to you?
He's
No.
a great dancer.
But they don't
No.
all sound
Yeah,
like
but he's
Carlton.
corny. He's corny as fuck.
Okay, but
So he
but
can
here's
have
the
a
thing.
white woman.
No.
But
But-
Carlton,
He
but
does.
see the thing about Alfonso Rivera, because I'm not gonna call that man Carlton, was we saw him growing up. Like we literally saw him growing
Right.
up. I
Yeah.
remember his
Mhm.
ass back in the what was it, Coke or Pepsi commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
with,
He was
commercial.
dancing with Michael Jackson and shit
Yep.
like that. So we saw
He
him
was.
grow up, but we also saw him grow into what he wasn't. So we physically saw him grow from like the average black kid, and he's dancing and this and that, to become this cornier version of himself.
Yeah.
And I think it was that transition that we saw is what we did not like,
That
especially in
means
a
we don't
time
want 'em.
where it was like he was doing that in a time where it was like we got back to kind of the 70s Black is Beautiful around about the mid 90s, early mid 90s. We
Right.
got back into the black or the berry, the this and that, and we want to be black and blackity black 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 and black 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 black, and he was not of that. So
Right.
it wasn't that necessarily he was too corny. It was just like he was not embracing the blackness that is
But
him,
you
that how
also-
he was embracing it when he was younger.
But he's
What
also
about-
a character. It's a character. That Carlton is a character, so it means
But it's not, because we've seen him in real
But
life be just that.
But
He
Yeah.
seems to be that character.
No,
because
I
Yeah.
he
get that, but at
he's
that
hosting
time,
Dancing with the Stars now, and to
Oh, he
me,
still is. Yeah.
It's Carlton hosting Dancing with the
but you
Stars.
ever think that there's,
Yeah.
but this was not, so yes, but what I was going to ask everybody was two questions. One, because everybody on this panel, every woman on this panel has either gone on at least one date with a white person or has had whole ass children or relationships. And I think sometimes we as women who will date outside the black race, we give outside POCs and white people way more leverage to fuck up than we do black men. I think we're sometimes harder on black
Mm-mm.
men
That's not true.
as far as
Not for
expectations.
me.
I
Well,
think so
as
because
as a
white
No.
as
boys.
a as the sole black man of ye panel, um, it can feel that way, but it's not. Now, this is me speaking on my dating habits and going on dates with the Rainbow Coalition, right? So, the one thing I find is that when I have dated outside of my race wasn't a factor because my blackness is never in question. Anybody even think about questioning my blackness is going to have a very, very hard day, a very
Speak on
bad
it, my
day.
brother.
And right on.
That's
My thing is that and for me, dating is different than actually going into a full-blown relationship. I've never been in a relationship with anybody outside of my race. When I was in a full relationship, it's here. It's a black woman. If they were mixed with black and more black, or black and Native American. To be honest,
Oh, okay. So the black mixed with white, that ain't good enough for you, but continue, please.
I need you to shut your mulatto ass up.
not the mulatto. Mulatto.
Yeah, notice I didn't go mulatto. I went full
Mulatto.
straight from
Mulatto.
Malada.
Monroe. Shut your mulatto ass up. But no, I've never had this. Okay, I have had conversations during dates about, well, what do you do, and um, where do you live? Yeah, with black women, yes, and I get it because and tell me if I'm wrong. Black fathers do try to raise their black daughters to be with men who can provide. Am I right or am I wrong? You
You're
know,
Um,
right.
okay.
the ones who are
So
invested in their black daughters, yes.
yeah, okay.
Yes.
Okay, Britt. Therapy maybe later.
I'm in
Um
therapy for a reason, but continue.
I understand.
Cause that, cause that sounded personal.
No. Yep. Mr. Williams, come to the front of the congregation. No, I'm just teasing. But, cuz my father would tell my sister, date those who value your worth. Period. It's game over. Did she equate to that? Maybe not. I, on the other hand, was told, go out and sow your royal oats. I felt like I was a king from Zamunda.
Wow.
The
But,
royal penis is clean, Your
It's so
Highness.
different how men and
but,
women parent
right.
different children.
But I was also told if she can't use your comb, don't bring that
Don't
bitch
bring her
home.
home.
But nowadays, like I told my mom one day, I said, well, I ain't got much hair, so why should I care? And I was always I'm always me, but I adapt and I always feel like when I'm with black women, I am me. You will
Mhm.
see
Mhm.
the nerdiness, you will see me being a blurred, you will see me being learned of them streets, but not of them streets. But if I do date outside my race, yeah, I do code switch a little bit. And I
I
do
I
don't.
have
I
it in the
agree with Anthony.
I
I
do have
Yeah.
this thing in the back of my mind where is it a fetish that they're going out with me?
Mhm.
Or is it a
Mm.
fetish of me going out with them?
Hmm.
And then
I
my
think it's
head
a
just
little bit
kick
of
in and go,
both.
yeah, like it's like, okay, maybe I'm with Rhea, yeah, it could be a little bit of both. it's the curiosity. With
Yeah,
black
I
women, I know I'm
definitely
going to get a woman who has either gone through the same stuff I've been through or of the same culture I was raised in. Off the top,
Or has an
off
understanding of your
have the
culture.
true
Hmm.
understanding, right? But if but when I would go out on dates with white women or Latinas, I haven't had the full trifecta or the full bingo card full because I have not yet dated an Asian woman. But don't worry, soon Lee, we gonna go
This
out.
mm,
nigga said
We
mm-mm,
going out
soonly.
soon Lee.
Mm.
mm-mm. I'm
Um,
done.
Oh, Mr. Cristo.
I
Oh,
haven't
Mason
had,
Cristo.
you know, I don't like I say, I don't feel like my blackness is in question. They know I'm black. I can't run away from it. I'm not passe
No,
blanc. But I do sometimes have in the back of my head, am I fetishizing this woman?
But
Am I
your
going with
phenotype does not mean necessarily that you are connected to your blackness. Because look at
true,
people like Clarence Thomas.
true. Well,
right.
now
He's
he
so
was
far removed from his blackness. As black as he has
right.
become
Hmm.
so far removed from his blackness
Well, no, and I'm not
that,
saying the skin folk it equates to the kin folk. Now, I'm not saying
yeah,
that because Clarence Thomas, if you go and read his book, he was a pro black dude. And what
yeah,
happened
until he
is
wasn't.
until he wasn't. And it was the whole thing of I'm tired of being called an affirmative action hire. I'm tired of being called, the
So now
DEI.
you want to call us affirmative action hires.
Exactly. So I haven't been dating as much as I used to, but mostly the dates I've gone on have been with black women, and I have not. And it's not to say I'm doing it because, well, I need to prove that I'm a black person. Man, look, I'm blacker than the heart of a fucking Aryan.
I
I
think
am.
I said it wrong. Because what I really mean is like for me,
Mm-hmm.
I have gone on dates with black guys, and I've gone on dates with Asian guys, and I've gone on dates with white guys and Latinos and Micronesians and you name them. Um,
Where are they from? The land of micro machines?
I'm
Micronesian.
like Micronesian. It got little dick. Where you from?
What
We
was
from
going on?
Lilliput.
Do they drive little tiny cars and speak at 100 miles an hour? What do they live on, cells? What's going on?
no, it is a legitimate place. But
Oh,
anyway,
I am sorry, people from Micronesia. That sound like a black girl from my old neighborhood. Micronesia, bring your ass in the house, girl.
but what I
Okay.
was gonna say is so for whatever reason, I don't have higher, I feel like not unrealistic expectations of the black guy, but I assume he's better. So I
Mm-hmm.
assume that he will, if he doesn't meet, hmm, put it this way, I had one black man that I was in contact with my whole life, just one. And my father happened to be an amazing chef. He never took his car into a mechanic because he could fix it. He rebuilt half the house himself by hand. He's a phenomenal artist. My father's every man. He's done ballet. He's operatically trained. I have this
Your daddy
idea
is a
in,
Renaissance Negro.
yeah, white women love that shit.
Well, he
Um,
understood the code. He
like
knew
he
the
was
assignment.
Right.
he
He
was
wrote the code.
a personal trainer. He did triathlons. My father
Yeah.
has done it all. And so in my mind, when I think of a black man, that's what I see. So maybe I just
Bitch,
see
that is an unattainable pedestal that you have put that man on that everybody is not going to be able to reach.
but white boys, they're white. They're just, they're goofy, they're dumb, they're stupid,
Mm-hmm.
you
But
know.
they're
Nah.
also not afraid to be who they are. That's
Correct.
another
Not
thing.
afraid
That
to be
part.
who we
They
Yeah.
don't.
are.
No, no,
They
no. But
are.
no. But you got to understand something, Britt. Black men, we
Hmm.
have to curtail a lot of who we
Right. And I
are
understand
when
that.
we're in
And
these
I
Right.
spaces, just like black women. Y'all, we as
right.
black people have to curtail ourselves a
Oh
lot.
yes.
Yeah, I
White
can't let
folks,
my full personality out when I'm
exactly.
around black people, and I can't let certain parts of my personality out when I'm around white people. So you kind
Hmm.
of code switch and you kind of
Yeah,
Yeah, we
figure
got to
out
read
your
the room
niche.
first.
Yeah,
right.
you got to read the
Hmm.
room.
And the thing is, with white folks come out straight up like, "I'm white." Okay, and it's
But
and it's
that's
game
not
over.
But that's not because they're emotionally open individuals. It's because this is literally their world that we live in. So they're
Which is why I
right. It's a
say
part of
it's
their
easier
DNA.
for them to just be
Mhm.
them because they don't
Yeah.
have to
Right.
adapt or
They don't have
switch.
to code switch.
Well, because
Because think
Exactly.
about it. Raya mentioned it on another episode because my son is the same way, and saying that we have children that are odd or outside of the norm of black children. I have a son that skateboards, listens to very little rap.
Hmm.
He likes to go fishing. He likes what he likes. He likes grunge and he likes old school 80s metal and that is what he likes. But he is outside of the norm of black kids, but when he gets around white kids that are the same thing, he's still looked at as the oddball man
right.
out
Right.
Of
because
course.
they're not accustomed to seeing a black kid
Mhm.
that can name these bands or know these bands and go to these bands and do this kind of stuff and skateboard well or any of these activities that they don't deem black. So I completely understand what Anthony is saying. Even though I'm not a black man, I'm raising one that is outside of societal norms on both sides. He can't be, he's
Mm.
not too black, not too white. So he's kind of in that code switching mix. But also, what Anthony said was good because dating outside of your race and being in a full fledged relationship to me are two totally different things. I've never been in a full fledged relationship with anything but a black man. Never in life. I've dated two white men in life. In 43 years on this planet, it's been two white men, one of which I was comfortable with, but we just did not have a sexual chemistry. And then one of which he was raised in and around black culture. So we didn't look at him as the white, well, it was like, oh, he's the white boy, but he's not the white boy
Right.
Hmm.
Right.
type
Every
situation.
neighborhood usually has.
And
Yeah.
right. And it's like, I could not, and the one that I dated for the prolonged amount of time, I just could not see I really and truly, like, no cap, I did not want to see a pink penis. I just didn't. I've
Raya,
watched enough porn to know that I couldn't do it. I was like, I feel like it looks like a naked mole rat, and I don't want to. I couldn't do it.
What was
Like
the
it got,
show?
we had been dating really good. We had been going. It was like 2 months in. He was an active listener, active dater. Let's do this. Let's do that. We like the guy was, and he was a really nice guy. Had a job. Was
Hmm.
very clean. Talked about taking multiple showers during the day. Used a washcloth. Knew about lotion. Would fully lotion his body. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. I couldn't do it.
but couldn't he have just
Couldn't do it.
suntanned it? Couldn't he have just gone to a tanning bed
No,
and stuck it in there?
No.
no,
No.
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 Well, and the
I
thing
don't
Could not,
think
is,
you're
for
supposed
the
to have
life
your
of
dick
me,
out on a
I could
tanning
not,
bed.
I could not do.
well, if you
He kissed me.
not if you
We
took the
dated for 2
culture.
months, and he kissed me one time, like outside of peck on the cheek. He kissed me, and I was like, this is not gonna. It literally the minute he kissed me, I was like, this is not gonna work.
Well,
Not gonna
see, it
work.
was a chemistry thing then. You didn't have
But we
chemistry.
worked in every other aspect. Every other
Yeah,
aspect was fine.
you can be good on paper, but if that
Oh yeah.
chemistry isn't there, it's a
But I
wrap.
have no desire. I had to think about it.
See,
No, I have no desire to be in a relationship with anything but a. Why my dog just kicked my door in like she runs some shit? I have no desire to be with anything but a black man. They work my damn nerves, but I have no desire to be in anything. I wore a shirt the other day that said, "Dear," to the grocery store, "Dear black men, you are loved." The amount of men, because it was right before Thanksgiving, the amount of men that stopped me, and a couple old ladies that stopped me, no young women, surprisingly, no women of my age or younger, but it was older women, and all the black men that saw my shirt physically stopped me and said, "I love your shirt."
And you
And I'm
see,
like, for them to have enough
I'm
courage
sorry.
to stop somebody, and they were with some of them were with their significant others. I don't know if it was wives, girlfriends, or whatever, but came up to me and said, "I love your shirt." Like, I don't want to give that kind of love to anybody but
Yeah.
another black man.
And I think was really funny. I'm sorry, I gotta go to the joke about what you're talking about. I was thinking about chewing gum. Was it chewing gum with
Oh, with
Michaela Cole
yeah.
when she was talking about the first time she had sex with a white boyfriend, and she said it looked like uncooked chicken skin. But
The one time, Antonia, I was like, Antonia, your thoughts. Girl got up.
Well, yeah,
Well, I
we're
can
gonna
give
hear
my
from
thoughts
Antonia.
She had to go
Yes,
because
check on
Rhea.
her baby. Damn.
I
She
dated the
got a whole baby over
Rainbow.
Antonia.
there.
No, my phone was dying. Sorry, my
Oh,
bad.
I
I got
dated
up
the
one
Rainbow
time.
Coalition, so I can
yes.
talk about this. So the first person I kissed was a white boy. His name was Carl Mitchell, and I was in
See, giving out
second
names.
grade.
Stop giving these men's name out,
Oh,
Nick.
oh, we were like 7 years old,
You
but
just
I
Oh,
thought
ruined that.
Jesus.
You just ruined that man's trust fund. Now to
no,
Right.
know he has touched the lips of a negress.
he lived in the
Way to
black
go.
neighborhood. All he knew was black girls, so he used to chase me around and
Oh,
stuff
you had
like
one of
that.
those,
Did
yeah.
he have the
Yeah,
John B.
Oh,
fade? Did he have the
no,
John B. fade haircut? Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
no,
John
he
B
was.
was fine as hell.
His
But
parents were PWT, so he didn't have any kind of fade. But anyway,
Oh,
so
okay.
the second person I kissed when I was like 13 was a Puerto Rican. So I grew up kind of, and my mother dated outside her race. She dated a German guy, she dated a Spanish guy, she worked at an international
Anthony.
camp, and
Oh, I didn't see.
she dated all kinds of people. So I kind
My
of
son.
grew up
Love
with
it.
an open.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
I'm
done?
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry.
how you
My
done?
feet got cold, so I was looking for socks, and I was like, ooh, Stone Cold socks. I got to show Anthony. My bad.
And that's the bottom
so
line because Helane's feet said so. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm sorry,
So
Rhea. Please
I
continue.
grew up in an open-minded situation because my mother worked at an international camp and she met people from all over the world. So when I became of age and I started dating, I would try to date black men, but the black men, well, black kids in my high school all gravitated towards white girls. I lived in a small white town, so there was nobody else to date besides white and Hispanics.
Right.
So I ended up, my high school boyfriend was Hispanic, and then I dated a guy who was probably a little bit too old for me to date. He was a white guy. So by the time I went away to college, my only dating experience was with white and Hispanic men. So naturally, when I was in a mixed neighborhood, well, mostly Hispanic neighborhood in Boston, where me and Britt lived, I gravitated towards Hispanic men because
Just so
that's who was
you
giving me
know,
attention.
if
That's
they heard
who
you're behind, call them Hispanic, they will whoop your behind. They
Puerto
are
Ricans.
Latinos.
They're Latinos, they're Puerto Ricans, and I love me some Rican. Give me some Rican all day.
Ricken.
I don't know why when you
I
said
feel
Ricken,
Rican.
Ricken in this hair.
I
I
I
feel
I, I think
Ricken.
of
oh,
rickets.
Puerto Rican.
When you said Ricken, you said it sounded like you said rickets. I'm like, why would you like a disease? Stop it.
No, T.S.
That's the
Madison said she feel
ailment.
like a
No,
Ricken in
Ricken.
this
like a
hair.
Rican in
Gotcha.
this hair. Selena wasn't
Gotcha.
Puerto Rican. She was Mexican. Anyway,
Bitty bitty
I've
bop.
dated everybody under the sun. One of my most like wonderful relationships was with an Asian guy. I had never dated an Asian guy before, and I quickly found out that their families don't really care for them dating black women, so that didn't
Mhm.
work
Uh-huh.
out too well. But I've dated white men, not in long-term relationships. I've only been in long-term relationships with black men and one Asian guy. But I have dated casually white men. And the last
Look,
one
even
that
her
I
computer knows she lying. Look at that.
The computer's like,
This is
thumbs
a
up
I
on
mean,
your view.
I had my thumb
sure.
up for some reason because I was trying to make a point. But the last guy I dated, it ended not because we weren't attracted to each other. He was a white guy, but because
Wait,
I
you were in
found
a
out
long
he was a Trump Republican.
you were
Ah,
in a long-term relationship also with a Latino, not just black or
Yeah, I'm
Asian.
sorry,
there go Britt with
Latinos.
the
So
proper
you
Yeah,
way
had
of
a whole
saying
bad
Latino.
baby.
yeah, Puerto Rican, a Rican.
A Ricken.
So in any of those relationships, I never questioned, nor was my blackness questioned. It just is what it was, and we were just two people in love. That's all it
Okay.
was.
And you see,
Do you find that being, because I mean, I went to predominantly, after we left Louisiana, I was in predominantly white spaces for school purposes. And I guess that is part of, you could say, our privilege
mm-hmm.
Hmm.
is I did not necessarily have to experience, like a lot of the black boys were, in fact, especially if they played sports, they were kind of gravitating to some of the white girls. But I will say I did not see it as much because, and I think it was because I was lighter skinned, I was a
Hmm.
little more apt to, you aren't you're a good one type situation, if that
Right.
makes sense. Like
Right.
The
Mm-hmm.
colorism aspect.
you're a little you're a little
You're
more
red bone.
tolerable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You're a little more tolerable than say a darker skinned girl or whatever the case may. And it was for me it was cuz I was always the new girl. So it wasn't
Mhm.
like you were so much more proper, you're just more quiet. I just didn't talk to you motherfuckers because I knew I was going to be out of this place in like a year any goddamn way.
Right.
So I wasn't sitting
Right.
around trying to make friends. We moved around so much, I was just sitting in the corner minding my goddamn business. And so she's quiet, she ain't all loud and rah rah, bitch, just because I don't know nobody. I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
any of these people, and I didn't try to know any of you people because I was going to move anyway. So it's like I built up this exterior of but then it backfired on the other end because then it became she thinks she cute. No, bitch, you think
Right.
I'm cute. Don't
Mm-hmm.
get mad at me
Right.
because I'm minding my damn business. Because at the end of the day, I'm still black.
Yeah.
Please don't ever forget that.
Well, you see,
And
and that's another. I'm sorry, Bray. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead,
oh, no,
Bray.
I was just gonna say, and just to make sure, Antonia, you.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry about
Oh
that.
yeah.
Antonia, please jump in the conversation.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm just a known secret. I'm married to a white man. So gas.
Mon- Monsieur.
So I just want to put that out there. So I'm just
Clutch your
like, well,
pearls.
just no secret. I'm married to one of them. So,
Mon
but no, me,
Dieu.
me and my husband, we've been
Mon
married
Dieu.
for 3 years. Well, we've been married for 3 years. We've been together for 13 years. So,
Okay.
Wow.
and we obviously see my daughter on camera, so we have a child together. But it's funny because I grew up. My dad just told me all boys are terrible. I don't care if they're black, white, Mexican. I don't care. They're all terrible. Don't even focus on them. So just and I had a bald headed black dad. He's like, just they're all boys because boys bring babies.
Now
So
I see
just
why you and
ignore them.
Britt are friends.
Yeah,
Bald-headed
yeah, you can
black
see
daddy
why.
connection. Got it.
Well, I
Mm-hmm.
always say, like, are you sure my dad's not related to yours for some reason? Because I have to start asking. And my grandfather, I love him. May he rest in peace. But he had different baby mamas, so I always have to ask questions now. So just
Oh, he was a Rolling Stone. Got it.
he, yeah, Papa was Rolling Stone, so I don't know. I just wonder if we're related. But my dad, who's just I never really had an affinity to be around men, but I think I grew up around men who are Hispanic, white, and black. I had black boys, but at the same time, none of them were like attracted to me. And if they were attracted to me, it was towards a sexual reason. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm like, my daddy told me to stay away from you because boys bring babies, and I'm
Hmm.
too young. I have a head on my shoulders, so I was, and also I think as I got older, I should have known my ass was bisexual because I paid attention to women anyway. So, um, I should have known. So it wasn't adding up. But my husband, he and I met in our freshman year of college, and it was just the way he and I clicked was that we had a lot in common. He was interested in the same nerdy stuff I was, and I think we had the same type of trauma overbearing mothers. Mine was an alcoholic, but at the same time, he has also an overbearing mother. So, yeah, and Britt and I, we've already had our share of rants about my mother-in-law. So I'm not gonna talk about that right now. But at the same time, it's we have grown. We were college sweethearts, so we have grown up together. But I think over time we've had to have a lot of conversations as we've seen our world change. And you know, I will admit, and Britt and I've told Britt this is like sometimes I have to stop educating and just start letting him see it, like getting you in there, because there are things that he sees, and he has a very interesting perspective because he grew up in LA. Technically, he grew up in LA, so he grew up around a diverse set of friends. He was the odd one out in his family group. He was thought as the other in his group. So in terms of him and I connecting, I can see why we kind of clicked initially, just because he grew up around friends who weren't white. Majority of his friends weren't white, but he grew up in the neighborhood that he had were white kids. So, but they saw him as like different. They treated him different. He was bullied growing up. So, and he and I, we really clicked on the fact that we had a lot of things of interest. We had similar perspectives, and he was down for the cause. He voted for Obama. He's like, you know what? I really need to change my worldview. And he really stepped out of that conservative church group. And when he came over here, he was really interested in women of color. But it's funny, we're talking about fetish, and I was like, do you see me as a fetish or do you see me as a person? Because there's a difference here.
Mm-hmm.
And we waited until 2021 to get married. So we were together for a long time after that, but we had to go through some things in order for us to kind of really get to this point. And don't get me wrong, we still have some of those hard conversations to make sure to keep them in check. Like at the end of the day, when you come around, we've had this conversation regarding our daughter. Like at the end of the day, they will see her as a black woman. So it doesn't really matter how we bring her up or who she hangs around. Even though your white side will see her, they will still see her as black. My family sees her has embraced her as a black woman. And in fact, my family loves my husband. So they love hanging around him. He's in their football fantasy. I don't understand football, so don't ask me
That's
questions.
because she has a black mother. We already talked about the mixed kids with black mothers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and that's what I told my husband. Like at the end of the day, when I pop up at my daughter's PTA meetings or whatever, they see a black mom. Oh yeah, that's a black woman. So it doesn't really matter. And we've had some hard conversations because there's like a dominance thing going on with my in-laws, mainly with my mother-in-law. Of like, well, she is half like, no, she's a black woman. End of story. Like,
Period.
doesn't matter. Period. So you can say she's Irish, she's whatever on your white side, but also on your side, you guys are going to treat her differently, whether or not you're going to feel it or not. You're already treating her differently. So, and I have to keep them in check. And now, don't get me wrong, I love my brother-in-law, I love my sister-in-law. They're a little bit more easier to have these conversations with, but at the same time, with my husband, I have to keep really him in check because at the same time, I have to navigate through our relationship as a black woman. So as long as you see me as a black woman, and he does, he understands, he's willing to learn and grow. But there are some times where we've had some difficult conversations where I do feel like we go in circles. But that's because I feel like our world is changing, especially with Trump getting elected. We've had to have some more difficult conversations of, hey, now people are being more open about how they really feel about people who look like me.
Right.
You're going to be put into situations where they're going to test you whether or not whose loyalty you're on. And so it's challenging, but at the same time, growing up, I've just been anti-men. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've just been like, you know what? That's not for me. It wasn't until I got to college where I'm like, okay, they're kind of interesting. Not really, but
Yeah.
it was my husband that changed it. But mainly, I thought I would honestly end up just single rich auntie for the rest of my life, but that's not how that happened.
Has your husband been in predicaments where they don't know he's in a room full of other white people and they don't know about you and they speak freely?
No, he has not actually. So actually, he works. Only time, no, let me backtrack. The only time that's ever happened was when it was in a family gathering, and that was his godfather's side.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until after I was brought in the room of conversation. They didn't know I was a black woman. They said like, "Oh yeah, Connor's dating a really nice young girl," and did not know I was black the whole
Is
time. It
your
wasn't
husband's
until
name Connor?
he is.
Oh, that is a white man. Oh, that is the whitest of white men.
Yes, he is.
Just like Connor.
I mean, now
Yes.
at
I
least
mean,
it could have been Bradley. It could have been
I could have
Bradley.
Just
said
like Connor.
Donovan.
Yeah.
I could have said
No,
Donovan.
mine's right.
Chad.
Connor and
No,
Tyler.
Connor. Tyler.
Yeah.
That's it. Chad.
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
it's Connor.
He's
And you're
he's
not the
he's
only person who
destined for a
said it
good
like that.
job. He's destined to get good job.
Oh shit.
He's a
So,
teacher, so
oh,
he
okay.
has an honest living. So he's a history teacher, but I mean, I make more money than he does, but at the same time, he has an earnest living. That's earnest and honest living. So I give him credit for what he does.
Yeah.
But the only time that has been brought up is when there came the conversation about Donald Trump and how he views obviously people of color, and that's when he had to speak up. He's actually more protective of me when we kind of first started dating. He wasn't sure how to bring it up because of his upbringing and how he used to hear about, and it's not just me, about his friends who are people of color and other black friends that he had. He had to kind of navigate through his relationship with his own parents and certain adults in the room. I remember one time, not with a white person, but we were in a limousine, not a limousine, we were in a car with a church family friend of his who's African, and I was in the car, and obviously he didn't know Connor was dating me. And I stepped in the car and then Connor introduced, oh, by the way, this is my girlfriend, Antonia. This man looked back at me and I looked back at him and we had that, type of look. So, and keep in mind, he comes from a community mainly of white people. So he comes from a group of Africans who see themselves as, I don't know why black people act like that. White people would treat you better. So
Mhm.
type of vibe. And I'm like,
Mm.
so we had that,
Ah.
I don't like you. And he knew he did not like him. So I was silent in the car. But at the same time, he started bringing up conversations about, I had mentioned I'm from my family's from San Bernardino, and so there's certain places from the South, and some of my cousins who've kind of gotten out of their own homes and been able to kind of find their own six ways of success. And he made some comments about, well, they probably would have done it faster if they had focused on education. That's type of rhetoric that got on my nerves, and so I pushed
Oh.
back. Yes, trust me, I pushed back. So I just noted, like, at least my family has always encouraged our family to work hard and focus on education and focus on our own means of success. And then he wanted to get into the topic of me wondering why when him and I were going to get married and start having kids. I was 19 at the time, so I was like,
Oh,
well, my
What?
parents have always focused. Yeah, well, my parents have always been focused on, well, my parents are focused on young black women getting an education, making sure we find our own means of success, and making sure that we're happy and content with where we're living. And this little man wanted to kind of rant on about, like, well, at the age of 30, your eggs start, getting a little dried
Oh
up,
my
and
God.
it was bad. So
and this was the first meeting with
Appropriate.
this person.
yes, in a
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So needless to say, I'm 32 and I just had a baby, so I don't think my eggs are a topic subject matter. But I ran to say that, I my husband and I, we constantly work together on it, but at the same time, there have been certain ways that I have to point out his privilege to him. And he understands, and he's still kind of navigating, and I point these things out. I think it's what Tim is trying to navigate that through other people like his family, of making sure that they understand, like, hey, y'all don't see it the way I see it because I'm with this person. But at the same time, like, I tell him, like, you guys, you and I, or you're going to be viewed a certain way in our relationship because you're with me. Your siblings, they're all married to white people, so they don't have to worry about that. I'm full of a sea full of white people. You don't have to worry about that. You, on the other hand, might see things differently. So when you bring up certain subject matters, they're not going to see it the same way you do. He's trying, but I tell them we just have to set our boundaries and knowing what's not going to be tolerated at the same time in terms of conversation, especially going on in the world today, and especially with our daughter growing up in this world too. So I told them, like, hey, as long as your family gets on the same page, and we're starting to have these conversations about, for example, I don't trust my mother-in-law to be in a room or out in a public outing with our daughter, and if someone discriminates our daughter, I don't trust your mother to
to
actually
have her
stand
back.
up for, have her
Hmm.
back. Like, if someone says something racist to our daughter, what's your mom gonna do? Nothing. Whereas my dad would mollywop their ass. So there's a difference. And I need to make sure that we continue having these conversations. But at the same time, that's why I'm protective the way I am as a black mom. So I cannot not protect my child. But
Yeah.
so it's a very interesting way we're navigating through our relationship now that we're parents in a way we haven't had to before. Whereas it's just been the two of us, it's just been, well, I can stand on my own, or he can help defend me where he needs to defend me. But now that we have a child, and it gets a little bit more complex, which is why, for those who are listening, if you are deciding to marry or date someone, get into a serious relationship with someone outside of outside of your race, those are things you got to think about, because do they have you down bat, or does their family? And right now, I don't feel like my in-laws really do, but that's just more of a, you know what? Now I know. Let me create the boundaries and let me navigate the way that I'm going to be navigating. It's like, hey, now I know. I don't have high expectations anymore. So, and that's not. I'm not going to say that's not a problem. It is a problem, but it's not a problem for me to worry about right now because
Oh.
I have a child now, so I got to protect her. So it's not for me to consider. But that was a long rant. So sorry about
Oh
that.
no,
The
nothing
only
long.
good mother-in-law is a dead mother-in-law, as far as I'm
Okay.
This
concerned.
bitch.
Well, we
Let
know that.
let's not go there.
This
No
bitch.
But
violence against the
anyway,
mama
Wow.
laws.
I
But
But
I was going to
I've
say,
told Britt before, when Britt has been talking about oh boy across the U.S. that she talked to, she'd be like, I have to tell him. And I'm like, Britt, you cannot tell me that shit is not exhausting. It has got to be fucking exhausting. That you got to remind this motherfucker who you are or what you are, or you got to check him about some shit to somebody else. That has got to be fuck. I don't want to have to do that.
And I
Well,
agree
and
with
It
you.
seems exhausting.
No, I
It
absolutely agree with
is.
you. For me, growing up, my first real kiss, like real kiss, and was another black kid, and I dated in junior high and high school, of course. Um,
mhm,
I only dated black guys because where I was from, I was just black, just happened to be mixed. Where my high school was, we were all bussed in to a rich white and rich Asian high school. So they told you who they thought you were the minute they saw you. So me being light meant not a fucking thing. You're not white. You're not this. You're not that. You're black. So I didn't even look at white guys or anybody else except for one boy in high school, Shogo, a Japanese guy. And then when I went to college, the only guys who hit on me were Latino guys. Black guys were never hitting on me. And white guys, when they would hit on me and I go out on a casual date here or there, oh, you're great, but I could never bring you home to my family. They don't want anything to do with you.
mm.
That was very much Boston.
You'd have been fine in New Orleans. You'd have been a
Mm-hmm.
queen
She's a
in
passe, cause
in
she look passe blanc.
yeah, she's straight up passe blanc, but she'd have really, really been like a queen in Grand Mary, Louisiana. And if you know, you know.
Well,
Um,
maybe I need to move. But
no,
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 but when I
no.
moved,
stay
but
your
when I
pacey ass
moved
where you at.
here, no, the only black men that seem to be interested in me are either way too young, or they're like my dad's age.
I
So
mean,
every
you
once
old.
in a while, I would go on a date with a really nice black guy, but it just didn't work. But
Mm-hmm.
nothing worked with anybody at that point. But for me, the relationship I have now, it's literally about my trauma. There's no man who could handle, none. And there are women, but I just didn't meet any yet, or I mean at all. Um, I'm looking for someone who can deal with my trauma and not see me differently and not see me as screwed up, and I can say this is my diagnosis. So somebody I've known for 27 years who's,
Mm-hmm.
you know, loved me and cared about me for 27 years, that trumps absolutely everything. But I do feel like I miss out. I miss out on a lot by
Mm-hmm.
not being with a black person. I do, whether it's a woman or a man. I feel like I miss out on cultural connections. I feel like I miss out on just the knowing look in certain situations. I feel like I miss out on conversations about things we grew up with, whether it be music or artists or just, I don't have to explain the set. And this is not a reflection of the person I'm with. I'm just saying in general, being with a black person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to explain the sadness I feel inside when I see a young black man in handcuffs. I don't have to be like Helaine said, on all the time. I can actually just, but no, for real. I can just relax
Mm-hmm.
and be black.
It's the
Right.
amount of energy you got to put
But
Yeah.
into it
right,
that
but
gets exhausting.
with that
But
said,
at what point? But at what point do you get comfortable enough with that person that is not of your same
I'm pretty fucking
whatever
comfortable with this
phenotype, skin
person.
tone, whatever?
Right.
Like Antonia said, she's been with Connor for 13 years, 10 years, 13 years total.
We
You said 13.
13 years total, yeah.
So she's
Married for 3.
after 13 years, especially as a married couple. So after 3 years, I would hope, and like I said, I don't personally know. I can only hope that after that many years, that your color and some of those experiences, it shouldn't be like, I don't even know how I want to say it. Like I would think that it falls to the wayside at some point. Does it
Mm-hmm.
not?
Oh, it does. No, it does. So just to clarify, and I give it back to you, but sorry, it's he sees me as me. It's just the problem is that how other people he
The
knows
outside,
don't see
yeah.
me as me, and he's trying to. And this poor boy is traumatized to the nth degree. So him trying to be comfortable and working through his own trauma, and people who used to bully and push him back, speaking up and being loud, but he is working through, especially as this new political climate has gotten more hostile, especially towards Black women. Him trying to realize, like, hey, this is the lens that I was trying to get you to see. And even though I've been vocal about it, he understands, he sees me for me. Sometimes he's understanding like what it means to be protective of me. And now that he has a Black daughter, you have to be extra cautious. Because I have to, she's not just a black person, she's a Black woman. So we have to be
But
extra,
there's a
extra
line.
cautious.
There's a line. I want to say there is a line, and I did want to address something really quick, that the love I have for that person is goes beyond race. Yes, absolutely. It has
Yeah.
to do with the friendship and the time and the understanding of who I am intrinsically as a person, outside of everything else that makes me literally fucking crazy, crazy enough to be excused from jury duty for the rest of my life. Crazy. Okay. But
Damn.
I am.
Fraud.
And this is why there's
But
not enough Black jurors.
but what's
But
really strange.
wait,
I'm
can
sorry.
I finish
I
really quick?
okay, because I really wanted to say something, but please,
But no,
the
I'm
floor
sorry,
is
but
yours.
I just, no, but what I wanted to say though was there is a thin line. And the one thing I don't want from this
Between
person
love and hate. Sorry.
no
No.
is I don't want a white savior. I can stand up for myself. I choose to stand up for myself, for me. I want you to stand up for me, yes, with your friends and your family if that came to something. If that, and so far everybody's been hella respectful. But I want to make sure, and he's very aware of this. He knows, he's known me for nearly 30 years. Don't go rushing in. Let me tell you if I need you to save me, if I need you to step in, because I don't want to fall into that trap. I don't want to fall into that trope of
Would
he's
you say the same thing to a Black man though?
my, you know what? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Really?
Why y'all putting these white men through this? I wouldn't want to be with your ass. Y'all put these motherfucking white men through a
No,
lot.
but what I'm saying
Fuck
is,
that shit. I got to know when I got to jump in and when not to jump in. I got to know when to say some shit and not say some shit. I can't be a savior, but you don't want me to sit back and hang back. Goddamn. What do you want from me, woman?
because
Shit.
I will say with Black men, there's a different energy, at least what I've seen growing up, and is every Black man, especially in my family and the ones that I've been close to, they don't jump in right away because they know the woman that they're with can handle herself. It is when it becomes outside of that, when if it's a dude got something to say to her and all of a sudden he's calling her out her name, he will jump in. But I just don't want someone to jump in outside of my race and in the back of their mind it's because of the color of my skin, not because the person they're with is being,
Mm.
Okay.
do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make
It makes
any
sense.
But
sense?
Yeah.
you have to give him a chance for that though.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
because
I
the
know
thing
I'm a
is,
lot. I don't want
he's
to date
You
me.
already
are. This is true.
yes.
I know I
We
wouldn't
have
date me.
determined,
It's been
Maury.
documented.
The test came back, and we have determined that that is a true statement.
But also you also got to understand that even though you don't want the white savior, if he was raised to be this
Oh shit.
chivalrous gentleman,
Hmm.
he's going to step up and defend your honor no matter what.
And that is who he is.
Correct.
That
And
is absolutely who he is,
Hmm.
100%.
right,
But
okay.
I will
No,
throw
no, 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 no. Stop the butt. Stop the butt. No
But
butt.
again, this is where I wanted to come in and say I don't see that as much. And again, I've only dated. I have not been in relationships with anybody outside of my race, but I do have cousins who do have Caucasian others. And for me, they don't have um that switch that you and Antonia and other Black women who date outside their race have, where they have to be almost on guard of their blackness on a damn near 24/7 basis.
Yeah, but here's the
Them
thing. I'm
boys,
not on guard about mine.
well, okay,
Because
cool.
white women live in the land of la la.
exactly.
They
And
don't they aren't sitting around thinking about their whiteness. It's just their whiteness just is.
No,
We
right.
are literally sitting around thinking about our female blackness,
But
even in
okay.
situations where we probably don't have to. They're not thinking about that.
Right.
right, but
But what
when
I'm saying is it
right.
also equates on black men who date outside of their race where they're not. And please, if you are listening and you are in an interracial relationship, please put it in the comments. Let us know how it
Curtis.
goes.
Curtis, yeah.
You
I
know,
honestly believe that black men who date outside their race, especially white women, and this is literally coming from just a very skewed perspective because I was
Oh,
raised
this gonna
by
be
a black
bad.
man who only dates white women. I think black men fall into the
hot take.
trap. I think they fall into the trap where they diminish their blackness and they diminish their masculinity because white women are so treasured and so powerful in this world that they acquiesce to what the white woman does. And because they're used to a woman running a household, she sets the tone. She's the loudest voice in the house. But you know what?
I
I
can't.
could be wrong. I might
Oh,
I
be
can't
wrong.
Curtis,
wait to see
please,
what Curtis
please,
says.
Curtis, please, Curtis, send us a note and tell us
Okay,
about this, Lord
and
Jesus.
this is why I said I have to look at my relatives who have either married outside of their race or have children outside of race, or they just living with the, like my aunt said, living with them white bitches. Period. Um, no, look, I have an aunt, her son married and had kids with a girl from Germany, and she said, "Why the hell is this Nazi here?"
Oh,
Um,
Oh.
shit.
He needed a real
Oh.
ex-Nazi.
Okay.
Well,
but
damn.
But you know what? They will look at them as different than white Americans.
exactly
Yes.
Yeah.
They will
outside,
like they will
yeah,
look at because I talked to a dude for a little while and he was like, I don't date white women. I'm like, wait, your last girlfriend before me was white. He's like, no, she, and I think she was like German or
yeah,
Scandinavian or
she's
something. He's like,
German,
that's different. I was
right?
like, how is it? And he rolled down this list. He was like, they did it and they don't have the same da 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 da. I'm like, I guess if that's what
But
you
what I
think. But he said the same
right,
thing that it was different because they weren't white
mhm.
Americans.
But
They didn't
what I
own
was trying to
slaves.
say
Okay.
with that is listening to Britt and Antonia talk about, especially Antonia, how she has to navigate through with her daughter and the mother-in-law and things like that. You don't really hear that with black men who date white women. You don't.
You
Yeah.
know
You don't
why?
Because they
get.
cower.
Hold on. No, you
Sorry.
see, I damn. I was
No,
gonna
I know.
try to
I
give.
know a
Because
couple.
we've already said that the mixed child effect when the mother is black versus when the mother is
Is
white,
white,
those
right?
children are brought up differently.
Yes.
And because just for the sake of men in general, whether it be white, black, Hispanic, whatever, men in
Hmm.
general are not necessarily running the household. They may be the leaders of said
Right.
household or whatever title you want to give them, but the day-to-day running of the household and how the children are reared
Hmm.
is on usually the mother to do so.
Yeah.
So if the mother
Hmm.
is a white woman, she is rearing those children as a white woman rears her white children. And
Mhm.
a black woman is rearing her children as she was reared as a black woman. So of course those black men that are dating those white women are not going to have those same, they're not sitting around conflicted because to them it's just that's Ashley or whatever the hell
Yeah.
her name is and she got it. I don't have to whatever. It's not until, and then it's usually some degree, and it's not definitely not saying all, but there's a good amount of black men that are dating outside of their race that do so to shit on black women.
Right.
Yes.
And
So no, they're
Yes.
not. They're going to come to this white woman's aid whenever she needs it, or whatever this woman's is aid when she needs it. But for all intents and purposes, she's not going to need it. So they don't have to have a constant reminder and be constantly thinking about their kids' needs or whatever the case may be. And if they're a self-hating ass Negro, they like, oh, well, I think I'm better than them Negroes any goddamn way. So of course
right.
they're not sitting around thinking
How
about
do
it.
you
And
think I grew up with a black father who loves white women so much that what I had asked him when I was young, why don't you date black women? And since I was raised black, like that's just what I am. Oh, they're ghetto. Da 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 da. I grew up with the most fucked up sense of self because my father fetishizes white women to the point where anyone who's not white, any woman who's not white, is less than. Well, guess what? I don't care how light I am. I was not this light growing up. I spent time in the sun. I was a black
You,
woman.
I've seen you.
Right.
We've seen your younger pictures. You did kind of look like Drake.
but
You're so stupid.
but but I was literally raised with this idea that I was less than a white woman because my black father prized them so highly. That is a problem with black men and white women love. But anyway, continue. I'm
Well, but
sorry.
it's
I didn't mean to
also
interrupt. I'll mute myself.
if you look at it as a child thing where you tell a child don't touch it, don't touch it, don't touch it, you can't have it, you're not supposed to have it, and then what is the first thing they do when they have it? Now it's the greatest thing ever, right? So if it's
Mhm.
this taboo or this unreachable goal, and then you finally reach that goal, oh man, you've hit nirvana. And like I said, when I look at my cousins who are in mixed, marriages or interracial relationships, I do tend to see that they are black with us when we
Mhm.
have the gatherings and they
Mm-hmm.
come sit by us. Hey man, what's that? Blah blah blah. And then when little Becky pop up, and it's no diss to them at all, they do have a demeanor change.
Mm-hmm.
But
You're code switching.
as my mom has said, and many of the women in the family, as they tell the little babies, when you with them, you can do the shit that they do. But when you're here, you do what this is what you should do. And it's like they get a reprogramming. Cause I got a little cousin. I don't even hate to say it, it's funny. When they say, well, here come white boy Bob. He
Oh,
comes in
white boy
because he's precious
Bob.
though. He is such a precious kid. He comes in and it's like Argyle socks, but by the time he go, it is straight up, like it's like
Have
a
we switched?
reprogramming every time.
Have we
But
switched from there goes that little gay one to now it's little there goes that little white boy Bob? Is that what we
no,
switched
no, no, no,
to?
no, no, no,
No.
no.
I
It's
guess so.
not
Okay.
like he comes in effeminate. No, he just
No, I meant like that's what the aunts used to say all the time.
oh yeah, no, no, no,
Well,
no.
Britt herself called my niece a white girl, and my niece is not white.
I didn't
She's
Right.
call you. When did
Hispanic
I
and
call her a
black.
white girl?
No,
You said she
it's
was white
I meant her skin color, girl.
because she's got blonde hair and white skin. That doesn't make her
Oh,
okay.
white.
okay. I said she looked like a little white. She got
That
blue
don't
eyes,
make her white, huh?
That don't make a
white
white.
skin.
That
Go
don't make
ahead.
her white.
But
No, I said
again,
she looked like.
She's
I didn't say she was.
yeah, she does look like she's
right.
white,
But
but
it's
she's
the
not.
energy, and that's why I was really equating it to because Helaine saying with Britt, you shouldn't have to be on all the time. There should be moments
Right.
where you can sit and just be, right? You shouldn't have to sit there and be a walk-in Black History book every
Right.
waking moment.
No,
But
and I agree with you. But I'm learning to do that now with the person I'm with, where I'm
right.
not that all the time. And it's just me being the person he's known all these years, not
Hmm.
me walking in and doing this, because I don't need to do that with him. He's not perfect. And there are some times when I'm like, we need to have a talk. And
Yeah.
he's always receptive and is literally changes like that. It unlocks
I'm
it for
fit.
him. But I enjoy
Right.
this. I
I
enjoy
Yeah.
have a
standing on the necks of white people. I enjoy standing
Oh
on the
God.
necks of any white
Okay.
family members I have. I am no different in a white space.
So goddamn confrontational.
Yeah.
right.
My guy sat there literally and said to me last night on the phone, he said, I can't quit my job. I was like, oh, but I thought you said one of us needs a job. He's like, no, because all I do is live in fear of you coming home one day going, well, I called my boss a racist and I ain't got a job now.
Because that shit is gonna
Yep.
happen. We've
Very
already seen it.
valid.
Yeah.
It's very valid. I
Very.
have a story where I dated an Asian guy. He was Chinese to be specific. And he used to say to me that the Chinese were treated the same way as blacks were treated in this country when they were on the railroads. And I said, no, sir, your people had a choice to be on the railroads. My people did not. He did not. We kind of like
Yeah.
agreed to disagree.
Agree.
And then we watched 12 Years a Slave. And by the end of the film, he was crying and he was apologizing to me. And he said, I had no idea.
Yeah.
They just didn't teach that. We
Right.
were just taught the Chinese were subjugated in this country as well as the blacks. And that's what he always believed.
Well, the subjugation comes from the yellow laws, and that
Right.
was also the you can carry your ass right back to the Orient where you come from, where they were kicking people out of America, and they were just like, all right, well, them darkies, we stuck with them. Oh, Jim Crow. So again, hold
Right.
on, Britt. I see you.
Okay,
Go
just
ahead.
remind me.
Go
I'm
ahead.
piggybacking on her thing when it's my
Okay.
time.
But and I'm trying to figure out if we should split this episode and put it in two parts because it is a good
I
conversation
think so.
because
Yeah, I
it's
think this
one
should
of
be a
those things
two-parter.
where
Hmm.
the question is to swirl or not to swirl, right? And we are looking at a
No pink penises.
That's the subtitle of the episode. To swirl or not to swirl, aka no pink penises.
Aww.
But again, girl, I might just cut the whole first half where we were talking about Drake and make this the episode itself. Because
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is a conversation that should have been had a long time ago. But I was looking at it and I'm trying to figure because even in my own spaces, I am the one in the family that I can adapt and be friends with anybody. I can date anybody. I haven't had issues. Now I've had issues where, oh, I don't date outside my race. I'm like, oh, okay, congratulations. Later. Keep it moving. Or all I date is black men. And I'm like, ooh, you one of them. You seem like at that moment when you hit the spot, you're yelling the N-word, and then here
Oh
comes the
God,
cops beating my ass,
I know that
so
girl.
yeah,
I know that girl.
right after that
What?
moment,
One leg rolled
I
up to the knee, the other one down. She drives
oh,
with the foot up like
oh,
this. I know
yeah,
that girl.
yeah, the Bohemian Whites. Um,
Oh, I meant trashy, trashy,
so
trashy.
Didn't say the bohemian white.
it is a strange situation because you hear those folks like there should be no mixing. And it's those folks who yell that be the first ones that's dropping their draws to be with somebody who got a different shade of color, right? And then you have the I don't see color. We're of
Oh,
all of
ugh.
one race. We're of
That
the
annoys
human
me.
race. It's very annoying. But it is
They
true
annoy me.
because race
Just
is a
want to say, shut up.
construct.
Just shut up.
True. Race is the
I'm like, I'm not
construct.
asking you not to see my race.
Yeah,
I'm just
I
asking
didn't
you
see
not
that
to treat me differently when you see it.
that part.
That's it.
Commit a
See it
crime.
all day. I want you to see it because
I've
it's nice.
I've always said those who say they don't see color, commit a crime on them. Oh,
Right.
that black son of a bitch. It's like
That part.
automatic. It's like, wait, but I thought you didn't see color.
But you didn't
Oh,
see
I saw
color. What
his
happened?
black ass when he was robbing me. Okay, well, you do see color.
Mm-hmm.
So I would never. At one time, I was like, no, man, it's all about black, blackity black, pro black, African medallions. Is that I only want the sisters, Ain't no O phase in this. And I'm thinking about it, and I was like, okay,
Girl,
An-
put your
Anthony,
damn hand down.
Anthony, you were of the public enemy variety. It is true. I went to all black schools most of my life. I never really communicated with white people unless they were bill collectors, and then I'm like, we ain't giving you no money, white trash. Click. Um, I
My mama
was
said we ain't got
12.
nothing for you, white man.
Yeah, I was 12, y'all. I'm 47. I have grown to tolerate you. I don't hate you. So it's one of those things that even in the dating scene, when I do date, when I do pop my head out to see what's out there and go out on dates, and they so happen to be not black, I'm just like I'm tired of code switching. You're gonna see who I am, and you're gonna see what the culture is that's in me. Period.
And you know what, Anthony, I was gonna say about the little Argyle sock boy. Y'all need to stop, and we need to stop doing that as a group of
And
people.
we have.
Stop making that
I've
little boy switch up on who he is. If he want to come in with them Argyle socks on
yeah.
and do what he and listen to whatever and play Harry Potter, let his ass come in and do
Look,
and be
Oh
who the fuck
yeah.
he is.
I enjoy a good Sinatra ditty. I do.
Okay,
I do. I listen to classical
same.
music. I listen
I
to
love yacht rock. I
yeah,
love me some
girl. I
Oh,
yacht
watched
rock,
the
oh, me
baby.
documentary.
too. I
But
love
Okay.
You
yacht
know,
rock.
Elaine
I
is
be seeing
absolutely
Sail
right
Away.
because we always are like, we're not a monolith, we're not a monolith. But then when we see another black person or a black child stepping outside of the norm, we have something to say about them. We have names to call them. So it's either one or the other.
Right, but
Either we
if that little
believe all.
child is saying the N word, we want to make sure he says it correctly, not in the Drake way.
Oh, did I
not
did I say
not a
that
hard
Not
ER.
a hard
where that
ER. I mean,
Sorry.
teach.
where
We
the
teach for
African
that.
guy said it with an A, but it's the way he said it.
Nigga,
Yeah, they were.
you goddamn
I was
niggas.
like, I mean,
That is the
The
can
problem.
enunciation.
That is
like
the problem with you niggas. You niggas
it's
right?
don't know nothing better.
so stupid.
And then you just sit there and go, motherfucker, your people was just fighting for boxes of rice and drinking cheetah piss. Don't come near me with
Oh
that.
Lord, have mercy, Jesus.
Oh my god.
Don't come at me. Don't come at me,
Anthony is
Unfusu.
stupid.
Moon face
Look,
Mungusu. Get the fuck out of
I
me.
have no issue
Oh.
if you are a man or woman who just happens to have liked this particular man or woman and they are not of the same color, be you whatever. Like
Yeah,
that's where you love what you love who you love,
Stand,
whatever. But if
stand 10
you
toes
are a
down on it too.
stan,
true.
but that's another thing. Yeah, stand on that shit. But if you are somebody that why when we start talking about white people, this bitch barging my shit? Get your ass out of my room.
You better be quiet how you said that. You already
Look, and
told
then
a
she gonna
story how
take
that dog ran away.
bitch, and then
So,
she done got look, done unplugged my shit. Look at this raggedy heifer.
Oh,
But if you are one of those, it's like, oh, I only date X, Y, I only date this, or I'm not gonna, or if who you like is preceded only by what you don't like in somebody else, then we got a goddamn problem.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Then we have a problem.
because you're
Absolutely.
saying one is better than the other, and you're placing it, and it shouldn't be that way. Love who you love, but don't love somebody because you feel it's love that person, but don't dog somebody else. That's
Correct.
how I kind of look
Yeah.
at
that
it.
And
part,
that, but
yes.
that, but that goes both ways because
Right.
at some point, motherfuckers will always think, "Oh, y'all talking about black men." No, I'm not. No, I'm not just talking
Black
about black
women
men
too,
because I've seen it. Because
white
I've
men.
seen it come from women, black
Hmm.
women. I've seen it come from white women also. White women will sit up there and dog white men out and tell, "Oh, I only love the black." No, why is you dogging that? First of all, them white men probably don't even want your ass. That's the first goddamn thing. So you have to try to put yourself on a different pedestal to give a reason as to why they don't want your
Yeah,
ass, and so you want to dog them out. And the same thing with some black women. I've seen it with black women too. We'll talk about black men ain't this and da 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 da, and that's why I got me a wife. No, if you
Candace
just so
Owens.
happen to
yep.
that part,
Hmm.
Sorry.
Meghan
that
Markle.
part,
Yeah, I said it.
Oh,
Oh,
well, I also think
Meghan
though,
Markle.
not
Not,
not
not
Princess
Meghan
Markle,
Markle.
I
Duchess.
said it.
not
She's so
Princess Markle.
unproblematic.
Ah.
Leave her
Oh,
alone.
oh, wait. We can't talk about. Oh my God, I didn't know the royal family was
Like
racist.
now, I will look at somebody like Candace Owens and say she definitely went out hunting specifically for a white man.
right.
But then I will look at
Absolutely.
somebody like Madam Vice President and say, I think her and Doug just ended up together.
Yeah,
Right.
She liked Doug and Doug liked her. Like
Right.
they're not giving me. Neither of them is giving me the. I specifically went looking for this, and I'm gonna shit on you over here, or I specifically went looking for this, and I'm gonna shit on this person. It looks like they ended up. You know what?
No,
I
they
kind of
talked
like you.
about the
You know what?
backstory.
I kind of like you
Yeah.
too. It just
Hey,
I'm
They
you know.
talked about
dated
their
by
love
but
Montel
story, and that was
Williams.
the vibe.
I would also
She
say
dated
along the
Montel
lines with
Williams.
what
We're good.
Helaine's saying, if you have to code switch with the person you think you love or you're with,
Yeah,
there's a
yeah,
problem. And
There's a
that's
problem.
that is
Yeah,
yep.
why me and my person work, because you know what? Who I am on here is exactly who I am when I'm sitting next to that person
Oh,
on
we know.
or
yeah.
We
FaceTime.
know.
We
We
know.
we
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 know.
have
Right.
prayed. No, we have
We
prayed.
know.
We have gone to the priest to have rosaries blessed in that poor white man's honor
But
because
no,
I am
because
sorry.
you're disrespecting yourself. You're disrespecting who you are because you feel you cannot be. Are you sure that relationship is exactly the relationship you should be in? And also, you're not giving that person a chance to love who you truly are. And if
Hmm.
you have to code switch to be around their family, then there's a problem with the relationship, because you should feel safe enough with your person to be you, and that person will run interference if necessary. If you can't
And
be,
I will note,
then there's
yeah,
a problem.
and I will note I'm at fault for that actually. And Brittany, you have talked about that. Is that I do have to a large degree, I do have to code switch in front of my in-laws, and that should not be the case because they do make me uncomfortable. Because
Yeah.
my family knows I'm a very specific way, but with my in-laws, I have to. It's like we talked about it earlier. I have to be so protective of myself, and I shouldn't have to be that way. And that is fault to the degree I am, which is why and Brittany, you talked about this, which is why I've like, you know what, family gatherings at your family's place, nah, I'm good.
Right.
So because I can't be
Yeah.
myself.
Because I have
Because you know
one good.
who's,
That's
oh,
unfortunate.
I was just going to
Oh
say,
no,
you
It
know
is.
who's really good
go
at
ahead.
being themselves? The white person in that relationship. And that's the unfair part.
Right, because they don't have any
Exactly.
kind of apprehension or
Hmm.
any. Oh God, I hope I don't eat the I hope I don't go look for the raisins while Miss Mary's making the potato salad. They don't
No,
have a stereotype that keeps them locked in.
it's but
Like
it's also
Correct.
the world. The world's standards are based upon their
them.
preferences.
Right. And one of the jokes we used to joke about is, oh man, you going to the white people house? Ooh, don't do this or don't do that. Be careful, blah 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 blah. And
Mhm.
you kind of get this PTSD kind of feel. You
Mhm.
get really apprehensive. Don't be a stereotype that'll make it bad for you. And you're
Right.
constantly walking on eggshells to make
Yes.
sure that, oh wait, they have
You know what
they have
I do?
watermelon balls. I don't think I need to eat,
I
Not the
you know,
watermelon ball.
I
You know what I
it's
do?
like, oh shit.
If I'm the only black person in my workplace, which has been the majority of the time that I've worked, if we have a potluck, everybody's looking to me to bring some soul food. I bring a Greek salad and I leave it like that.
I like that.
She say, "I'm
Yes.
gonna step out, bitch. I'm
Rhea,
not bringing what y'all expect of me."
I'm sorry. I
Exactly.
thought you were gonna bring the chitterlings. What are
Not
Right?
you
the chitter,
doing?
not
What
the
are you doing?
chitterlings.
What are you
And that
doing?
should
no.
be that stuff be gone too. It's good.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
That's
this
the
is
only
not
salad
Sorry.
I
Greek
know how to
salad.
make.
This must be Al Green salad, isn't it, Rhea? Wink, wink, wink,
Not
wink.
the Al
Yeah,
Green.
I taste the
You know
soul.
what I have found, and Britt and I worked for the same place at one point in time. I have found that I don't need to speak my blackness into existence. I can, not that I cannot. It's, of course I walk into a room and I'm one of the only black faces, if
Hmm.
not the only at some points. But I make it a point to, when I walk in with, I guess, an air of certainty, because I know I'm supposed to be in that space. Like,
Hmm.
you're not going to knock me off my game because I already know I'm supposed to be in that space.
Right.
Yeah.
But I make it a point to, whenever I go to headquarters. Like, I've worn this shirt on the airplane. I don't give a fuck who gonna say something to me.
Who
Who
gonna
is
check me,
going to
dude?
say something to me? I have worn, and I make sure when I go up to that northern icy place that is my headquarters, I have braids, or I have faux locks, or I have, and it's gonna be a colored, it's gonna be a red braid, or it's gonna be, I had ombre skinny little braids that one. I'm going to do something to make you understand. Now you're going to hear me speak. You're going to hear me speak the same way that I always speak.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have a little southern twang to it, but I'm going to enunciate well. I'm going to be what you consider. Oh, she speaks so well. I'm going to talk like I normally talk. Now I'm going to throw in a isn't it and ain't every now and again, but that's because I'm fucking southern. But I'm not gonna. I have stopped. I learned. I don't know if it was hitting 40 or whatever, but I have learned to stop code switching to a certain extent.
Hmm.
Now, will I act the same way I act with y'all? No. But will I completely turn off all things that are ethnic for these motherfuckers? I'm not gonna do that neither, because I've earned the respect to be in these spaces with you.
Right.
I'm not your DEI hire. I'm not your affirmative action hire. I got here because y'all know that I can do this shit. So you gonna get me in all my goddamn blackness. I've worn, like I said, this. I wore a shirt that said "Pretty Brown Thing" on my last airport trip. I'm gonna show some. Hell, I think I wore one of Britt's shirts up there one time. Oh, the one with the little girl with the fro that says "I'm hella black" or some shit, light skin but hella black. I wore that one day, and my fuckers was like, "Are you gonna change?" Nah, bitch, let's go eat. I'm not changing. Let's go.
Right.
What I need to change? Who am I changing for?
But you know
Right.
what's crazy? We are in a situation where we have to define our blackness and put it out there, right? So we're wearing those shirts. We are wearing how we feel. We literally have to broadcast sometimes that, hey, we are who we are. White folks just, as Britt said, this
Bitch, I'm not Candace Owens. Remember that.
right. So like I have a shirt with Kramer from Seinfeld and he has a Klan hood on. It is what it is. And I remember wearing it to work and I
No, you didn't,
yes, I
Anthony.
did. It said KK Kramer and he's busting through the door. And
Oh.
all I
Oh no,
remember
they was trying
was
to write your ass up.
no, it was 3 in the morning. I was dressing in the dark. I just grabbed a shirt, put it on, and when I got to work, because I used to work the morning show at the ABC affiliate here in Lafayette. And all I remember was the morning show anchor goes, "It's a very interesting shirt there, Sterling." And I went, "Oh yeah, still not paying attention. This is me. This is 3 o'clock in the morning, Anthony. I don't care." I'm like, "Ah, yeah, I just threw it on. It was clean. It smelled fresh. I'm good." My supervisor, who was the director, who I sat next to because I was working graphics, goes, "So, so that's appropriate there?" And he was an old curmudgeon white guy. May he rest in peace, regardless. And I was just like, "Yeah, it's a shirt. I have a shirt, jeans, tennis shoes. It's the dress code." And it took somebody to go and they say, "Anthony, your shirt. Hey kiddo, I'm recording. Love you. Welcome back." My nephews are back from their trip. So
They made sure they wanted to let you know they was back in the house.
yeah, we're back. And I'm like, no, it's like a horror film. So all of a sudden, I just had to look down and I finally saw that I had the Kramer shirt on. I was like, oh my God. My friend Dave goes, "Dude, I love your shirt. They might write you up." And I'm like, well, they can. So I just hurry up, switch the shirt, put the shirt inside out, and walked around. You couldn't see the pattern, but it didn't matter. It was just a goofy story I had to
I'd
tell
have
you.
kept it on. And when he asked if it was appropriate, I would have said, you know what? Is the KKK appropriate? No. No, they are not. Is what
But
he
they're
said
still here.
All
appropriate?
right.
No.
I
No, it
have
was
a
not.
question of the pod. I have
Well,
a
Lord have
question of
let's
the
mercy,
pod.
child.
But
okay.
I was going to.
Again, before we finish
She
up.
done went back to smoking. Oh, you got another one
Yeah.
standing in the back there like us. What is this?
Oh, hey, welcome home. Let me finish record and I'm gonna come see you, okay, kiddo?
Okay.
All right. You could tell them hello.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Hi.
They
Hey,
said hello.
Okay.
All right, kiddo. I'll come holler at you.
All right.
You sound like you're maturing.
Yeah.
You need to pay a bill now.
Anthony, he scared the shit out of me because he was standing back there like a goddamn
All right,
statue.
kiddo.
Like, who's that?
Yeah, that
I saw
that
him. I waved at him earlier.
that's my oldest nephew. He's starting to grow like a weed, and his voice
He
is getting
is.
deep.
He's tall.
Oh
were
yeah,
we
and his
still going to do it since we're cutting it up into two separate ones?
Oh Lord, she want to do
I
her
don't
Her-Tep.
know,
Her-Tep
but
corner.
I'm trying to wrap it up because it's 4:30 here and I have to eat.
Okay, so
Oh,
here's
yeah,
what
we
You
we're
should
gonna
eat
have
at
do,
done it this
4:30
ladies.
like an
morning.
old lady?
I sure do. It's Sunday.
All right, let me
Oh
let me just put
Lord,
it like this.
nigga say it's
We're gonna
Sunday.
wrap this. We're gonna wrap it because I think this is a perfect end. Her-Tep corner and question of the pod. We're gonna take a break just for this week. Just for this week.
No
Because
question either.
no question. Why?
Oh,
Because I really want the viewers to kind of come back in this conversation because this is a good conversation we just had. As a matter of fact, the first half of this thing gone. I'm coming straight into the conversation. I know people don't it care about our topics we talked about earlier, the this week in black, because this is the meat and potatoes. So before we go, Britt, I want you to give a preview of what the Her-Tep corner is going to be next week.
Okay.
Go.
I'm going to talk about why um, I am not a fan of white people to the extent that I am, and why I'm so pro black, and because of how I grew up and where I grew up and how I was treated because of the color of my skin, I have a very unique view into Whitey, and Whitey gets real comfortable around me.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is Britt Williams.
And that's why Whitey
She
ain't
has a
shit.
job. I'm not saying where she working, but they'll figure it out just as soon as they do.
Good luck on your
Um,
first day tomorrow.
yeah,
No,
good luck.
Tuesday.
Oh,
Oh, Tuesday. Okay.
It's
good luck
Tuesday. Yeah.
regardless. Hope everything goes well. But we got to wrap this
Can we
up,
say a
y'all.
little prayer for Britt real quick, please?
Dear tiny black baby Jesus,
Yes,
please make
six
sure.
pounds, 3 ounce baby Jesus. Please hold her and cover her and make sure that she is not herself for the first 90 days.
Yes, Lord.
Make sure that the insurance kicks in and the benefits kick in so that she can get back on any medications that she may or no, she needs them, Lord. I was going to say may not, but no, she needs them. So we can stabilize all of her moods, all 32 of them, and she can get back on regulating the weed consumption and microdosing if need be, and
Don't he do it though?
make sure that she keeps her standing appointment with whatever psychologist, psychiatrist, shrink, or thereafter that she needs.
Yes, Lord.
We need to
And
make sure that she has an adequate amount of money in her bank account so that she can fly across country to see this white man to unload whatever portions of his pink penis into her that she will need to keep her
Oh,
sane and regimented, dear Lord. Please,
Okay.
please
Oh, in Jesus'
hear
Oh
name.
everything that
my.
I am saying and
and
keep her, hold
ye-
her, and
okay. I think tiny black
That
baby
was a lot.
Jesus was playing Xbox and probably had not heard
no,
yeah
he's
one
not
word.
allowed to give
But I
toast.
will say, may the spirit of Big Mama have her hand, her diabetic hand on your shoulder as she guides
her
you through
diabetes.
this.
Yes,
And every time you feel like you want to try to be pro black, may she take the power of the motherland and smack you upside the
yes,
back of your head to keep you
yes,
standing straight. Because, Britt, you need a job. You need to keep this job. Lord knows, because me being paranoid and unemployed, there has to be more working black folks in this world because next year it's going to be crazy. So,
yes.
ladies and gentlemen, on that
Yes.
note, to Antonia, thank you so much for joining us. We
Thank
really
you.
appreciate you being
Thank you
here.
for having me.
Come anytime.
Anytime you have
Yes.
an open invitation, bring the baby, but don't bring her on air. I don't want her to be seen because YouTube will be like, all that cursing was so wrong for the baby.
Yeah.
So,
No,
but
I don't
no,
want. But
keep
thank you
on.
guys so much. It was a great conversation. Thank you.
No, thank you because your insight was definitely needed for this. For the
Indeed.
viewers, thank you all for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give us a blue thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, hey, in the comments, put how you feel. Let us know what you feel about the episode. Join the conversation. If you're in an interracial relationship, let us know how that's going. Please, we need data. To swirl or not to swirl? That is the question. So,
No pink penises.
Swirl, just don't swirl with barbecue, Becky.
all right.
Wait, what?
Can
Okay.
we wrap it up?
Yes, Lord. For
Ravi. My
the
God.
I
slightly
want
annoyed,
to.
for that slightly annoyed, slightly caked up priestess of beige rage, the African American princess, Miss Britt Williams. For Coretta with the Beretta, Miss Helaine Terragano.
Gang, gang.
Bang bang. And for that beautiful ray of sunshine, Miss Araya
That annoyed ray
Anderson.
of sunshine.
She don't look very ray
Very
of
annoyed.
sunshiny right now.
No,
She
she's
wants some
very
food.
annoyed. She has to
Her
be.
4:30 geriatric early dinner is waiting on her.
I'm
And for
Nigga said, I
hungry.
our
gotta go
guest,
eat dinner. It's 4:30.
and for our guest, Antonia, once again, thank you for joining us. I am Anthony Sterling, aka your friendly neighborhood super Negro, letting you know that if you are on those streets, please be good. But if you can't be good, be careful. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, nigga.